still do that. I just always record just in case.
Yep.
So I keep everything. So they be like, oh, something. Oh, hold on, run it back. And I'm just like, no, keep going. Because you may say something dope. You may do something special. And you can't recreate energy.
Feels like we're fading, I don't know why.
I'm just a girl's girl, for real. Yeah. Cabinet star, I see you got you some patience. Selected with who you keep around, but most of them know how to cater. I'm shooting shots at the bar and serving them looks to a waiter. Most girls say they straight, but I know they love them a chaser. Most girls act innocent, I had a judge with equivalent. But don't you be calling me sis, I already got 6 siblings. And I know you know this ain't that, just tell me friends, you know how we act. They know that girls just wanna, hold up, damn. She say I'ma come here while I'm good with the cat. Will you put the yams on me? How many drinks will it take for you to get up and come dance with me? Yeah, tattoos on your body and I'm tryna read on the fine print. You can talk about your man with me, I just hope you don't mind it. Cause I'm just a girl's girl, and I like to, and I like to, and I like to. Cause I'm just a girl's girl, and I like to, and I like to, and I like to. She like to sizzle from time to time. She my little love galore. He might have linked with her once, till I kept her coming more. By the end of the night, I see how they both taste. Goddamn, can't catch my drip, so they try to throw shade. Bad bitch, worth that 9 to 5 in a Honda Civic with your Betty friends. Real niggas come a dime a dozen. If you in this party, get some Betty's then. Cause we turning up tonight, and we getting high. If I'm with a Betty, then you know the vibe. Cause I'm just a girl's girl, yeah. And I like that, and I like that. And I like that, cause I'm just a girl's girl, yeah. And I like that, and I like that, and I like that, goddamn. I might eat a little cake too.
Yeah, what's up? We're back. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
2025, setting it off. We got super producer, super writer, super engineer, Scotty Taylor chilling with us.
Yes, sir.
What's good?
Welcome.
Welcome to Boston. Welcome to Boston. We got a whole puts in work gang back there, too. We got Rob, C4, Geb. We banished Rob to the side so he
Got your legs wide open.
He wouldn't yell at us tonight.
You got calm, Rob.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. If he really has something to say, we got a mic over there for him. Yo, how was everybody's holidays?
Great.
It was lit, bro. It was mad. I felt like a white guy, low key, because I just watched Fish and did mushrooms on New Year's. It was pretty lit.
Wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How was that?
No, yo, it was lit as fuck,
Wait,
bro.
what do you mean you watched Fish? Like the band Fish?
Yes.
You went to a show?
No, fuck no. That you know how hard it is to get into that show, bro. It's a New Year's Eve show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do it at the at Madison Square Garden every year. They do like a 4-night thing. They do on New Year's Eve. They have probably the greatest light show ever, bro. You should definitely just see what they do.
So you watched Fish on TV?
Yeah, it was lit as fuck.
Yeah, I went to a Fish show one time. I fell asleep.
Really?
Damn.
Really? How?
What if we tried to get them on here?
You were too sober. How does
What's Fish?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a jam band. Yeah, like you heard of the Grateful Dead?
Yeah.
Right. So you know how people would like follow them around and shit. Fish was kind of their successor spiritually, I would say. Like
basically?
Yeah,
a lot of people tour with them and they follow them around all over the country and shit like that.
Yeah, bro. Like they have fanatics, bro. Like they do like a lot of like visual shit because a lot of their followers are usually on acid or mushrooms. And then they did like the Sphere recently. They were like the first music group to do like multiple nights at the Sphere.
Yeah.
And they do Madison Square Garden every New Year's Eve. And they're on tour all the time. And they and each song is like 30 minutes long. It's crazy. They just
What?
Yeah, it's
30
crazy.
minutes.
No,
That's
I'm
insane.
exaggerating, but it's mad long per song because they jam out, they start doing different shit, and everyone fucking loves it. But it was lit.
Yeah, I went when I was like really into hardcore music and shit. So
Oh, that's weird.
because my roommate was a huge Fish fan. He was like, dude, I'll go to a hardcore show if you come to a Fish show. And I was like, all right. You know, we fucking chilling in the parking lot, eating burritos and smoking weed all day. So I'll get there. We got great seats too, and they're all fucking standing around.
Yeah.
Of course.
Sounds intense.
Sounds just
And he never went to the hardcore show either.
Yeah.
But R.I.P. Steve. R.I.P.
you.
Steve.
You
Yeah.
scared, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, everybody have a good Christmas though? You get anything
Yes.
good?
Christmas was good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
New Year's Eve was my
Absolutely.
birthday.
Oh yeah, you're sober now.
And I am sober now. 8
Yeah.
days strong, you feel me? And I feel great, very present. And yeah,
Yeah, it probably feels good.
probably feels good.
Quitter.
What do you mean quitter? You calling
So
me a
wait,
quitter?
did you stop smoking too?
Yeah, everything. I don't do
Everything?
anything.
Oh, congratulations.
actually sober.
Ooh, let
Well,
me
if you
know.
don't, if you don't mind me asking, why'd you change sobriety?
So I dropped a project called Miss the Meeting, and it was about basically just alcohol, substances, and my relationship with it.
Okay.
And so I thought it makes sense for me to go into the new year sober, and also just because I need to. I'd be crashing out when I'm drunk. My friends know that.
It'd be kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
It's funny. I think it's hilarious.
It is hilarious until a certain tipping point. And then you're like, all right, bitch.
Depends
Yeah.
on our level of responsibility for you.
We gotta go home.
Yeah.
If we feel like we gotta take care of you, then it's annoying. But if you just,
But
But
usually
when
you
have
good.
you ever had to take care of me?
usually-
We're not
a lot
gonna
of
get
times
into
we'll calm
this.
you down, so you don't
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
deal
that's
with
true.
shit. But
So we don't have to deal with your shit. No, see, this is friendship. You know, being
Yeah,
for real.
okay.
with me. But yeah, so I just kind of decided to be sober for me and also for just my mental and music.
That's dope.
Her sobriety's tearing this family apart, though, dude.
yeah, we had a big Christmas. Santa gave us cruise tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. So to rewind a little bit, right on Easter, there was an issue because usually the Easter Bunny leaves like a really elaborate hunt for my kids, and this year he started to write the letter, but my kids walked in and there was bloody paw prints, and the big bad wolf had come and snatched the Easter Bunny.
So he's the one with the tism, by the way. We were talking.
Yeah.
That's Lil Tism.
That's
That's a rap name.
Nothing wrong with that, but
I get the joke now. He was looking suspicious when you were saying it. I was like, I said, Lil Tism, who's that?
Talking about my back.
so the big bad wolf said, I got the Easter Bunny. You guys got to figure out how to find him. But the Easter Bunny had left a second note that said, if anything happens to me, tell Santa, he'll know what to do. So that was back last spring, right? So
Yeah.
What was I during this episode?
my kids, sent a letter to Santa, and they're all too old to believe in Santa, but they play along, They sent a letter, letting them know what happened. So on Christmas, there was a letter from the desk of Santa Claus. It said, the only person who can find the Easter Bunny is the Tooth Fairy, but I haven't been able to reach her because she's on vacation in the Bahamas.
That's so cool. You're a cool dad.
At Coco K. What do you mean, man? I didn't
Bro,
do this.
You're so cool.
At Coco K.
I wish my dad cared.
And the only way you can get there is on a Royal Caribbean cruise.
I hope you don't see this.
So you guys have tickets. You're boarding in 4 days.
Yeah.
So we went to the Bahamas. We had to bring a tooth. Luckily, there was one time where the Tooth Fairy forgot to come, and I took the tooth the next night. So I had one left, because Santa said summon her the usual way. So we brought the tooth down there.
You didn't knock one of your kids
You have
out
a
and just
real-
get a new one?
I was going to do that joke.
No.
That was dark.
And
Taking a dark turn this
they left the tooth and it disappeared. So hopefully the Tooth Fairy is heading to the North Pole to figure out what's going on. And we're going to track down the
So you
Easter
didn't get
Bunny.
your kids no gifts.
That was a fucking gift.
Yeah, honestly, I just
So the
found
That was
gift
the
was
biggest
a-
gift I
That's
ever
hilarious.
gave them.
Bro.
You didn't get them shit.
Kidding me? No, I got them each one thing, and then Santa brought that. And Santa will be paying for that for
So the
next year.
Bahamas
So.
That's
trip
very
was
Santa will
creative.
be paying for that.
just a slew.
Yeah, that's very creative. I commend you.
Yeah. So it's going to get crazy.
Yeah, that's
Because
intense.
what's going to happen next is Tooth Fairy's going to report back that the big bad wolf showed up and killed Santa Claus.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Why? Because you're not getting them gifts next year too?
I was thinking about that.
I hope your kids don't watch the podcast. They're gonna
I know, yeah,
the whole,
I don't think
I
they
know.
watch. They don't give a fuck. They're like, oh, Dad, come on. But so that's gonna happen, and then but then the Tooth Fairy's gonna tell them that the only person who can revive him, because she had just enough magic to keep him alive, right? The only person who can revive him is the Easter Bunny. So now they have to find the Easter Bunny not only to save Easter but to save Christmas.
Okay.
And-
Is the Easter Bunny
Now,
Dominican?
at a certain point, I'd be like, I'm over it. All right, just give
No,
me
I know.
one.
I was like, guys, did you bring the tooth? They're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They're all in high school.
They just not excited. Like,
How do you keep up with this trail or story?
Just
It's
all
the
in my
tism.
head, dude. I love this shit.
The little
I love this shit.
He does it for like all the
Yeah,
holidays.
I forgot.
Right.
He does it for all the holidays.
And so they're
dope.
gonna have to find the Easter Bunny. So the Tooth Fairy's gonna give them the drop on where it is, and I'm gonna put a rabbit in a cage in the woods. They're gonna find a real Easter Bunny, and the whole thing. They're gonna the big.
Dead?
Dog, you're committed.
No, I'm gonna put it alive.
Oh,
put it
I
alive.
was about to say, 'cause
because you
kill
said
a
the
bunny.
coyote. You
Yeah,
said the
well,
coyote or
ate
the
'em.
wolf.
The fucked up thing is that then
With
they're
the
gonna have
blood
to
and
free the
shit.
bunny, right? And it's gonna be like a bunny from a pet store, unless I trap one or something like
Free
that.
bunny.
So That's kind of fucked up because they're not going to know how to survive in the wilderness. But
A bunny?
You're pretty committed. That's
Yeah.
yeah, dude, I like to throw down for holidays.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, that was
bro.
crazy.
That's insane.
My kids enjoy it.
How was your
I love
Christmas?
That was great.
And
it
New
was
Year's?
good. I recently got married, so this is my first.
Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Yep. So 3 months today, actually.
No shit.
Fire.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
so
you
it
probably
was-
had to get her something nice to feel like that.
Some
right?
things. Nice.
Okay, some things. Yeah.
But vice
People
versa.
celebrate
you know,
3-month anniversaries?
No, it's Christmas.
No,
Oh, okay.
Christmas.
Oh, Christmas.
First Christmas is a married
Some
couple.
some people do though.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
You know, we just happy anniversary. Oh, I love you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But,
It's not that enthusiastic.
yeah.
But
but no, it was dope. We spent it at my parents' house on the south side. So yeah.
Nice.
That's
man.
fire.
Nice.
Yeah, and she got me nice stuff too. So no complaints.
Yeah.
We love
Just
that.
like, oh, I get you stuff now. Like blessed.
Who's the better gift giver out of you and her? He wants to say himself, but he doesn't.
Yeah, don't get in trouble. Don't get in trouble now.
there's only one answer.
I am.
Okay.
He's being real about
What'd you get her, if you don't mind me asking?
I got her a purse. I got her some Jimmy Choo perfume. I got her these Crocs she wanted. It was like these.
The thick ones, the thick.
Yeah.
Oh, the
bottom part-
bubble
yeah.
ones?
Yeah, with the Wicked. She's like big Broadway musical.
Oh, okay.
I love
Yeah,
that.
with the Wicked things, and it was some other things. It's like 6 things. I'm missing something else.
That's pretty nice. Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you wrap them all, or did you do like a basket?
Yeah, I wrapped them. Like
Okay,
I'm like
yeah.
a professional gift wrapper.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna hit you up next year. 'Cause I hate that shit.
Oh no.
That was the best part about this Christmas.
Yeah.
Usually I have like a huge spread. And I spend all night Christmas Eve wrapping everything.
But I put like bows on them and everything.
oh wow.
He does the
That's
origami
fire.
on it.
Yeah, my mom taught me how to wrap gifts.
You didn't put her on a cruise and on a fucking quest?
No bunnies in the woods.
Hey, not everybody gets that.
No bunnies in the woods.
We're not there yet. Like,
How does it feel being married? Did you like?
yeah,
Like, what was it? I don't know. I can't even imagine myself married. So how?
it's great. It's great. We've been together for almost 5 years, so we've got to really. We were friends. Then I fell in love. But anyways, yeah, we got to date. You know, be friends, and then we was engaged for a year, and then we just got married October 8th. So it's great though. I have this joke where everyone's like, "How's marriage?" I'm like, man, I should have done it sooner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Only because how good not only is it going, but like just the whole process. Like the wedding was perfect. Just Rob was at the wedding.
That's right.
Yeah, that's my brother. So just everything is going so great. Like I wouldn't even call it a honeymoon stage. It's just like to experience true love for real with a lifetime partner is like wow. Because I
Yeah.
was so career driven for so long. Like man, I'm focused on the bag. Like I gotta go. I'm on the plane every week, and then to see my mind mature and be like, man, I want to settle down and build a family was like beautiful because I was just like money, placements, this, like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that was not even a focus, a point in time. Then I'm married. So, yeah.
So what's settling down look like for you then, as far as your career goes? How are you changing?
Just being more intentional with, the family I'm building and just spending more time, with my partner, and with myself. I feel like at one point in time when I was working, I was like neglecting myself, because it's just like, oh, you're working, you're making money, and it's like, you're probably not happy, I just didn't have a hobby at the time besides music, and I was like, man. So a lot of that plays, and she helps me with that too.
Yeah.
Like she was like, yo, you just do music. Like you gotta do something else. So I got back into playing video games.
Oh, nice.
Nice. What's your game?
You got to stream.
Yeah, Madden.
Madden.
Nice.
How do you feel about Madden, dude?
And Smash Brothers.
Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah.
Smash Bros is the one.
Smash Bros
What's
is
your favorite
fun, yeah.
character?
Ooh, Hero,
You're okay.
Hero, and Pikachu.
Pikachu's fire. Okay.
Wait,
Pikachu's
Smash
the one.
Brothers is not Mario?
No, it's
Mario's in it.
Mario
Mario's
characters
in
are
it.
in
Like,
shit.
I think Sonic's in it too.
It's on
Oh,
Nintendo
it's the
Switch.
It's the mix-up with
It's all
everybody,
fighting
right?
Nintendo guys just
Yeah,
fighting.
okay, okay,
I
okay.
think you're thinking of Super Mario.
No. I'm thinking of Smash Brothers.
No,
but I'm
oh,
Well,
okay.
Smash Brothers back in the day used to be on Nintendo 64.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
used to
then
have
it was on
Nintendo
GameCube.
64 and GameCube.
And then I forgot the other one he was on. And then I think
The
it went
Wii
to-
and
the Wii. That's what it was.
I love me some Smash Bros.
It was alright on the Wii. I don't.
I suck at it now, bro. I can't play
Yeah.
that shit right now. I suck.
That's one of those games where like you play somebody that's good and you're not. It's not
Yeah,
fun. It's
I played a
all
kid at a
playing
tournament one
Smash,
time,
bro.
and
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm Unk."
Oh yeah. Smoked it. Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, you want to play?" I was like, "Oh, this kid is so nice," and he was like, "Don't do that." Like every time I picked the character, he was like, "Nope."
Wow.
I was like, "Yeah, he
He schooled you.
Yeah, it was bad in front of my nephews.
That's funny.
no. You get
So
roasted
they
by
was
the
talking.
nephews?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh yeah. Well, I could Jones. I'm from Atlanta, so like my nephews think it's sweet, and they be like, "Dang, like, yeah, I've been joning longer than you've been alive." So, but yeah, I'm definitely unk status.
Nice.
So yeah, and like so as far as what you're working on though, have you changed that? Have you stripped down? Because you do a lot of things. You produce, you engineer,
Yes.
you songwrite.
Yes.
Anything else that I'm missing?
Vocal produce,
Vocal produce. Okay.
and executive produce.
Okay.
What's it producer?
Yeah.
So yeah. So like for a moment, like the last year and a half, I had stopped working with labels actually, and it just going back to what you were saying off air, like mental, just was working heavy with labels, like with any and every label. I was probably in every system, and then I think for a while, just going back into settling down, it just took a toll on my mind, and I was like, yo, I'm just working. And then so I did scale back with labels, and I slowly but surely start working with labels again, but just more selective, and then start focusing on like independence, myself, and then around that same time I was saving up for a range to propose, so it all was like lining up. So yeah, I took a break for a while though, because I was just like done waiting on money, and it's just stuff like that that's not fun.
Was the process like different, or like took a toll on you as far as working with the majors versus independent? Like what was the major issue you had with working with majors is my question.
At one point in time, because it wasn't like always bad things, but like it came with a lot of bad things, just waiting on money. And then like credits not getting fixed. And then when they do get fixed, like the record's already out, and then they have to update it, and it's not the same. Like
You don't get the same clout and love out of it.
yeah,
right?
it's like,
Gotcha.
like I make the best out of the situation, but it's like, man, this should have been done the right way. Because on my end, I sent the files, I recorded it or mixed it, and then on your end, it's like,
Right.
You would think it would be at that level. Like
Yeah.
they're supposed to be a professional machine as
Yeah.
far as independents that are all over the place. Like
and it's not all labels, but it just, when I were like, because I was working so much, when I really sat down and thought about it, I was like, okay, this is not fixed, this is not fixed, this is not fixed. And then it just piled up.
Were you on your own basically navigating and managing all that, or when did you
Rob
reach out?
It's helped me a lot
Okay.
with all that. And then like I did have connects and like relationships with like labels, A&Rs, managers, so that helped. But even with that, man, sometimes people just drag their feet, you know what I'm saying, and move on their own time. So it just, years of that, it just took a toll. And I was like, you know what? I'm temporarily quitting. So, and it was a journey because I just, as an entrepreneur, you gotta get in your grind. So it's like my wife always says, if you quit something, like if you don't take a gig, let's just say if you don't take a gig that's $50,000, okay, how can you make that back and win? Like that's how my wife makes me think, and I'm just like, okay, so if I don't take this, can I make that back? If it's no, you may want to.
Yeah, you got
Yeah.
decisions.
You
to
may
make.
want to take that, but if you can make that back and get on your hustle, then it's all worth it. But if you decline in jobs,
It'd be an asset.
Yeah.
if you decline jobs, it's like,
Yeah, not all money's good money, kind of. But
oh,
yeah.
for sure, because some money you're just gonna say no.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to work with you. You have attitude. You're weird, or whatever. And just
I heard what you did. Type guy.
or seeing what you did.
Yeah, there would be a time in the studio that they did something. You're like, all right, bro, this is the last time working with this.
Yeah, for sure. Like mentally, I already made my decision before the song was done.
So you don't got to say the names, but what's the situation? You know what I mean? That you really remember. You're like, what the fuck's wrong with that guy?
Just working with a writer that was just too arrogant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, super talented. But I'm like, why are you so rude? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, why are you so rude? But just mentally, I was like, yep, this be my last time working with him.
You was just heading out in the whole session.
Yeah, for sure. Use the bathroom real quick. Just unplugged my hard drive, went home.
Oh
No
my
shit.
God.
Yeah.
Like a bad date.
Yeah. Extremely bad date. Yeah.
All right, but with the bad, we want to hear some good. So what would you say
Yes.
is a positive thing about working with the labels?
It comes with a lot of positive things. I think it's the exposure, and then your previous work is your catalog. So it's like, if you just worked on the Travis Scott album and that's doing good, that's your catalog. If you just worked on the Money Long album or just worked on the Video album, that's like, your catalog. And then it's just exactly. And then it's just the connections. Like, someone may work with you because you work with that person, and then it just
Spiral, like,
yeah, it's just like continuous like thing. Like, oh, I did this, I did that. It may be something that you worked on years ago, like in 2015, and they be like, oh yeah, you did that. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm thinking like, man,
I did that.
you know, because I'm just always on to the next thing. So I would say that, and just the overall network. You know, just connecting with people, and then especially if a record or an album does well that you worked on, oh, it's over with. You can just use that and be like, oh yeah, I worked on that. Or people will come to you like, hey, you worked on this. So just taking advantage of that network and then just trying to use that to make your next move.
How did you get over the hump from, I mean, I imagine at one point you were in your bedroom, you know, recording
Absolutely.
whoever type shit,
Yeah.
right? Like, what happened to get you into that zone where you're
How did
getting
you
hit up by
start
labels
out?
and all that shit?
Man, so it's a great question.
know.
But
It doesn't work sometimes, bro.
He said I rehearsed it in the mirror actually before I got here.
5
he
times.
practiced that.
Yeah.
So I went to college, made a lot of connections. I interned at Blue Room Studios, did really well there. Made a lot of connections there, and then instantly I started like freelancing. So my mentor at the time, Steve Hibicki, great guy, set up a lot of opportunities for me. He's the one that, just to give you an example, like he's the one that set me up with Ray Sherman.
Okay.
You know, like he was tired one night, and he called me. He was like, "Man, do you want to basically do you want to work on this album?" And I was like fresh out of college, like 2-3 months out of college, if that. And I was like, "Yeah." One night turned into like 2-3 months. You know what I'm saying? But and the studio was like, I'll never forget this. The studio was like an hour. I was living with my parents at the time, and it was like an hour, 30 minutes from my parents' house. And then I was driving the church van to the studio, so it took up 2 spots. Because it was like this
Big old
long,
van.
and then I had her church name on it with the number and everything. So it was like, oh, I wonder who this is. And so I would before when I was ashamed, I would like wait till everyone leave and then like go to the church van. They'd be like, oh yeah, session's over. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna clean up, you know, send everybody to the house. And I could hear them like, yo, whose big red van is out here? And I'm just like, oh my God.
They probably thought the undercovers was outside, bro.
I'm saying, I eventually got over it, but I was like, man, because it was times I was ready to go, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to leave before them, or just leave with them and just take
It's
the
like
jokes.
me with my Nissan. I had like my hood was blue, my bumper was
Yeah.
gray, and the whole car was red. But I just painted it, y'all. I'm doing better.
Oh shit, for real?
Yeah,
That's funny.
sorry.
No, but just moments like that, stuff like that, and then eventually over my career, like it was people connecting me with labels, and then I was blessed to be on Mean Street, which is Atlantic Record Studio. So it was like anybody associated with Atlantic Records would come through there. So that was that. I was blessed to be signed to Tricky Stewart for years. He had a studio, and then it was funny because I signed to his like on staff as an engineer to Red Zone, which is his company, and then he did the deal with Sony. So that means all his staff went over to Sony. So then I was on Sony for like 2.5 years. So it's stuff like that that put me in positions to work with different labels, and then connections and word of mouth. That always gets you like the best.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Right.
You know, like I heard of y'all podcast, seeing Rob go.
Going crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
that was
then
funny 2 hours.
I subscribed to YouTube, start watching videos.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
appreciate it.
So
Yeah,
that's how it be. Like you make a connection, and then it's just like,
Yeah, shout out to Rob. Thanks for the
Yeah, shout
alley,
out to
my
you.
brother.
you know what I'm saying? So hopefully, even this interview, hopefully this gets some of my people on here. Like it's just
let's
a
go. Yeah.
continuing thing. So
We definitely need to come down and do an Atlanta episode.
oh,
That'd be lit.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know when you do.
Oh, that
Might be soon, actually. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can put it together.
Yeah.
I was working at coming up in Atlanta in the music scene because we always hear from up here like, yo, people, it's a camaraderie. People work together. People bring each other up, and that's why people come out of there. Is it like that, or what's it really like?
Yeah, it can be. I like Atlanta for the vibes and the culture and the collaboration. You know, at times it could be like clicked up. You know, but if you just look at it like and just move like, let me just go in this room, execute, and just go on to the next thing instead of like, man, I have to only work with these people because you're limiting yourself. So to me, I love collaborating. You know, so I love working with different. It's been times where I've recorded, like on a record, it'd be like 4 engineers. Cause I'm like, yo, why don't you come record this person? You know, and then, or it'd be 4 different mixers. Like it happens all the time as a writer, producer, whatever. If you read a song nowadays, there's so many names, but you can't take one of them names off. You know what I'm saying? So, so yeah, coming up in Atlanta was dope. I love it. I eventually had to expand because you can reach a peak there. creatively and get lost in the sauce, you know. But no, I love it. It's once you find your lane, you'll be all right.
What do you mean exactly about reaching a peak and getting lost in the sauce? Like that specifically about Atlanta?
Atlanta's very urban. So like if you're a creative in general, no matter if you're a writer, producer, engineer, you can sometimes get caught in like an urban lane and be like, oh well,
That's the type of music you do.
yeah, like, oh, I just record rap. And I'm like, no, I have success in rap, but I do country, but I do hip hop, you know what I'm saying? But I do gospel or anything. But if you don't know how to move and navigate and take advantage of the opportunities, you can just be like, oh yeah, I just do this. Like, oh yeah, just call me when you need rap vocals. you know? But you can get out of it. It's just about what you accept too. You know, if you keep taking the rap stuff, you're just gonna be in that lane, and then next thing you know, it's like 2026 and 2027 and 2028, and you're still doing.
Now you're the rap vocal guy.
Yeah, and it's like, man, but you know, I don't like to limit myself in general, not just music. So for me, I was that guy for a minute, like, oh, I just did rap stuff, and I'm like, yo, I can do so much more. Like in college, we had to record country bands and stuff that stuff that I don't have plaques for. You know what I'm saying? And so when I do get a call for stuff, I'll be like, yeah, I can do that. Like, so like I'm working on a country album right now, and I'm like, finally,
That's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, because I'm like, I can do that.
Can you say who the artist is?
Yeah, Millie Golightly.
Really good,
Familiar,
Letty.
yeah. I don't listen to country, but I'm
so much
excited
country,
for
yeah.
that.
So you
She's not
recording
even a country
instruments
artist.
and everything?
It's crazy.
Or you just
Yes.
do the, yeah? Oh, yeah, that's cool.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I
Yeah.
can do that. I can do instruments,
Yeah.
pianos, anything, drums. Like,
Do you prefer hardware or like digital? Do you go in the box? Like, how do you do it?
both
Both?
for recording and mixing.
Okay. Oh, recording.
So recording, I usually use gear for recording for sure, and then mixing. As of now, mixing. I'm 100% in the box.
Nice.
Yeah, but I can mix with gear, but if you get a recall,
Yeah.
you have to set the
Yeah.
setting exactly, and you're like, oh, something's off. Like I did it one time, and the client was like, something's off, and then I went back to the like converter, and I was like, oh, a setting was off, and I was like, I'm duplicating this setting with a plugin because
You know, have you ever used a DI? Because you can just record the DI and then just retrack. You can recall it and reamp it.
yeah, but that's just like depending on what
It's
you
a
do,
lot
it's
of
just
work.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It is.
In the box, if someone asks me something right now, I can go to my hotel, pull up my computer,
yeah.
plug my hard drive, and just
Yeah,
hurry up, do it, and send it back. But if you get a call, like, hey, I just need you to turn the vocals up, like you got to patch everything, and
Yeah, that's crazy.
so I just like to do like if I'm out of town, I've done mixes out of town, I've done mixes in hotels. Yeah,
In the box, same.
What
I
headphones
stay
do you
in the
like to
box,
use to
too.
mix? 'Cause I've been using AirPods lately.
I've
I
been
think
using
they're really
Sony,
good.
the HDR, the HDXs. Sorry.
those are nice. I like the Audio Technica M40s and the M50s because they're flat. Yeah.
The 50s are fire.
Yeah. I haven't even moved. I think I still got my 50. They're like beat up.
Yeah.
I should have brought them.
You like closed back or open back instead?
It depends.
Because I've been mixing with the closed back, and it kind of like feels like a little too bassy sometimes, a little too warm.
Supposed to mix with open back, right?
I have like
Yeah.
both to like kind of, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've been mixing with the closed back, and it feels like a little bit more presence. But I'm not sure.
So I don't mix in headphones often, but I think the Audio Technica is a closed back because the open back is the one that has like the speaker.
It's just not like the sound bleeds out a lot.
Yeah,
So you don't
so-
want to use it for
Oh,
tracking.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right,
I wouldn't-
right.
no.
So like closed
Yeah,
back is
closed.
good for like tracking, right?
Yep.
Yeah, closed.
and then open back for like mixing, of course.
Right.
Closed
Right.
for sure. I used to mix in headphones for a long time because I came from Atlanta was a home studio culture. Well, I mean, depending on who you're talking about, it probably still is, you know, but it was home studio culture for a minute. So like I would just record in headphones, and then while I had the headphones on, I'm like, well, I might as well mix.
Right.
Right.
I was like that for a long time. Like literally. I probably just got out of headphones the last like 4 years maybe.
Do you guys think I'm crazy for using AirPods a lot to mix?
Nope. You know why?
As long as you have, I mean, go. I was gonna say as long as you have stereo, like that's not the only way you're monitoring.
Not the
your
only way,
sound,
but a
right?
lot of times I'll kind of go all the way mixing on just those, and then the mix will come out, and I'll be pretty happy with it.
Yeah, because the consumer, everyone's listening to
Yeah.
AirPods. So
Yeah.
it's not a bad idea. I personally do multiple things.
Yeah.
Like
That's
I
the best way
do,
to do it.
I do like even when I do a mix, like I'll play it back on my iPad. I play it back on my phone. I do the car.
Yeah, before I
I may
usually
go to
master it.
another studio
Yeah.
and listen to it. So I do like a whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, you can definitely have some issues that you don't hear with the AirPods.
Yeah.
But they're just so
That's
convenient.
smart, though.
Yeah,
They're so
that's
nice.
not. I don't think you're crazy, but yeah, just definitely use other things too. I think I think
Yeah, I do.
Your
I
mixes
do.
are fire, so I don't know.
They're not
yeah.
bad. Yeah, what did you think of that mix on that song? Because I want to ask like a lot of technical questions about mixing. But first of
Yeah.
all, that was my mix.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah, I like
Just nice. 'Cause that one I had trouble like,
Just
and I'm pretty
nice.
happy with it, but I'm not like crazy about it. You know?
Thanks.
One thing I would say.
I tried my hardest. I tried my hardest.
Yeah, I just
I
would
like it a
have
lot.
added.
It sounds
I just
good.
would add a little more body to the vocal. That's
A little more body to the vocal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that may be like a personal preference. Yeah, but you can always try it if you don't like it. You just keep the original version.
Well, it's out, like she said.
You can remix
that's
it.
Yeah.
Missed the meeting,
I'll add
remastered.
some body on the clean version.
But that won't
Just
help.
kidding. Just kidding. It sounds good. Well, you don't like the
Yeah, I
mix?
like it.
Huh? I didn't say
She
that.
doesn't like the mix.
She doesn't like the mix, bro. She was
like
talking
the
about
mix.
it.
Normally, I'm on here saying some shit you don't like, so it's okay. We can do that. We can do that today. I have a question though.
Yes.
What do you feel like is your superpower that got you to where you are today?
Yeah, because you had a lot of opportunity, but you had to seize that by, fulfilling the hopes of the people that gave you the opportunity.
True. Can I mention like multiple things?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I've heard you say a lot of things that I think are your superpowers, but I want to hear what
Yeah.
you think it is.
I would say one, just me personally, just keeping God first, like because like I think some people can get so caught up in self, like I, and then like I've been in the studio sometimes, and I'm like, whoa, yeah, I felt like something helped me do that. I think that's God, me personally, right? Two, just like finding your lane and just capitalizing on that, like because I do so much, like you can get lost in like, I wanted to go in a room and just be like, I can do anything. So if the writer don't show up, I got you. If the producer's not here, I got you. Like, so that's what I always focus on is like capitalizing my situation when I get in the room, no matter what. Because it's in times like if someone doesn't have beats, we're just sitting there wasting time. Like if I know all these producers, why don't I just get all these packs and be like, oh, you ain't got beats, man. I got a pack from OG Parker. I got a pack from this person. I got a pack from, you know what I'm saying? And just be like, oh, snap. So I got a pack from Gibb. I got a pack from all these people. And just, if the producer don't show up, I got beats. We can just keep going instead of just sitting there waiting, doing like this.
Yeah.
And then I would say my third superpower is just like being able to control a room, you know what I'm saying, and be in a vibe and just paying attention. Like if people want to talk or people don't want to talk, if people like the lights on, if people like candles, if people like to record in the room or record in the booth, like you got to pay attention to all those things. And I think I just paid attention to a lot of stuff where people just in La La Land is looking around, like, oh man, I'm with this person. It's like, okay, cool. A vocal's a vocal. Let's work. So
You be
That's
buying
fire.
candles and shit
yeah,
for the studio? See, Dallas don't be buying candles, bro.
not for everyone.
No,
though. I ain't gonna hold you. Not for everyone.
start,
Because some
though.
people just be like, man, who got this candle burning? I'm like, oh my bad. It's too sexy up in here, man.
It's too sexy up in here, man.
Like, pause, turn that off.
And I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. But
Imagine being. That's wild. It's too sexy
Then
over
they'll
a
be
kid.
like, "Can I smoke?" And I'm like,
yeah, it's like, you
let
gotta
my
smell like
candle-
apple
I can't let
cinnamon.
my candle.
It's like smelling like apple cinnamon. The next thing you know, it's feeling like 50 sweaty people just smoking, and
Oh, God.
Yeah.
and rap sessions really humbled me.
Do you smoke?
Nah,
No?
I was high, unfortunately.
Right.
By contact, but
Or fortunately.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
Never have?
Oh yeah. Oh, you said like, did I?
I
Smoke?
said, do you? But like, you never been a big smoker though?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We
okay.
were just talking about this in the car, which is funny. I smoked
then
from
you quit.
13 to 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then by 20 I was burnt.
Fuck that.
That's me right now.
7 days in, relax.
You're all right. Humble
I'm
yourself.
saying I was smoking
Humble
from
yourself, man.
15. No, you mad funny. I was looking from 15 to 26.
She was
like,
shaking. She was like, yeah, that
Yeah, that was me.
I'm like, can we take a break? Get us some water.
Yo, get out of here.
What's your favorite thing to do right now? Tracking, mixing, producing?
Mixing and
vocal?
writing.
Mixing and writing.
Yeah, I actually just had a session with C4. He's right there.
Yep. Shout out
Oh,
to
we
you.
know that guy.
"C4, yep."
He was
He
the
got
last
a-
guest.
Yeah, he got a crazy
He's-
gift first. He could say it was crazy.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
He-
yeah, I
he's-
agree.
He's so talented.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I finally got to get in the studio with him because we've been like vibing lately, like just like talking.
Yeah.
He came to Atlanta. I pulled up on him. I missed him the last time I was in Boston too, and I was like, brother, I'm not missing you this time. So we've been just vibing, and we on the same team basically. So it was like we just kept missing each other. But I believe like stuff naturally happens too. You know what I'm saying? So
God's
it's
always
time.
on time.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we just had a great session, and I'm excited for him too. So,
Real quick, what brings you to Boston though? Like, is that something you regularly did, or is it just random? What's the connection?
So you probably know this guy named Rob.
Oh, I heard of him.
Very loud, vibrant guy.
Yeah. He was screaming on the here before. I remember
I think
that.
that's the same guy.
I think that might be the same guy.
But
Did you make those
so,
You Open shirts yet, Rob? You make those You Open shirts yet?
We need the shirts. Make them embroidered. Talk to my nigga Noble.
So this is actually my second time in Boston.
Okay.
And the first time, he been telling me when we was just running around and traveling these last couple of years, like, yo, you need to come to Boston. But we was so busy. Like we was between LA and Atlanta for like 3.5 years. You know what I'm saying? So it was like at that moment I didn't have time. So it finally made sense a couple weeks ago when I came here, and then this week when I came here. So yeah, shouts out to him. And this is my second time here, and I have a little more time. Last time it was just so fast, like I was like in and out. So
Picked a cold week. Should have come in the summer, the spring.
it's cold, and I just came back from Chicago with my wife. So
Oh yeah, it's cold there probably too, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and Atlanta's cold right now. It's like in the 20s.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
But it's not like this cold though.
Yeah, I was gonna say I went to Atlanta for my birthday one year, and it was actually mad nice. I was there with like no jacket and shit, and like in December,
It's cold
January.
now.
Nah, this shit hurts out here right now. That
Yeah.
wind when it hits you.
It makes you get an attitude. Like
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
Why do you think we all
Why
act
do you
like
think-
this? Yeah.
yeah, we was in
Why
the
did I
car.
say that?
We was in the
Why
car.
do you think the 8 days been hard?
Still got you shaking. Yeah, but this cold is different. I mean, I'm like cold now, low key.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty toasty. My flannel, my extra butter shirt.
Okay, bro.
Dallas wore this sweater so you guys would know who bought the gift.
I remember.
Christmas.
No comment.
No comment. Still not holding yourself accountable, dude.
Yeah, this
Crazy.
motherfucker, bro.
That's funny.
So yeah, a minute ago you were naming a lot of like terms for roles, right? That you like to play, and we were having a whole debate recently about the right names for different roles and different contributions on an album. So the situation, right, was Naughty put out a song, Alone engineered it, and added some production onto the beat. Right? I'm getting this right. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right?
Yeah.
Added some production like some snares and some 808s and shit like that on the beat, and then Naughty posted it, and Alone was like, "Hey, I co-produced that."
Yep.
Right? And then we were kind of all thinking like,
Sounds like it.
is that engineering or is that producing? And how does that work with the original producer? Because it was a YouTube beat, right?
Yeah.
So that guy knows nothing about it.
Ooh.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Okay.
He still did
You
it.
probably should have said that first.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean, yeah.
he
We're
still
getting through all the
said it,
details
but-
here. Yeah.
He still did that thing.
I know, but it's like, so it's a tough one, right? Because I think that technically, from a legal perspective, Alone definitely co-produced it,
Yes.
right? Yeah. From the perspective of like, hey, who made that beat? It would, like in perception, it's the other guy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that gets into the whole thing of like we use the word producer for beat makers.
We use it the
essentially.
wrong way.
Whereas like producer traditionally was like Quincy Jones. He's not playing the instrumental. He made the song.
Yeah.
We've used producer the wrong way, bro. Like producer, it like even in Latin music culture, like in Colombian shit, when you say you're a producer, that means you did everything from A to Z for that song till the end. Like in like for the most part, it's like you basically executive produce it. That's
Yeah.
what and we bastardized that word between beat maker and producer just because it kind of sound better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sounds way
Those
better.
terms were also coined in like the 70s where there was a producer was really like a director for film. Like he was the producer. He produced like funds and the artists to come together, the collaborators. Whereas like he also funded the tracking engineer. That
Was
was
he
different
funding it
than
though?
the,
I don't know about that, right? Because I think it was
I mean,
usually like the label or
not,
you know,
Depending
maybe
on the
not
situation.
money wise,
Yeah.
but like he like
Yeah.
was the main reason why they were
making it all happen,
Yeah,
guiding
kind
everybody in
of.
the studio, telling the engineer what to do, telling the
Yeah.
guitarist to play like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
no,
now it's
you're-
different.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
definitely
now
is
it's
different.
different,
But
yeah.
you're right. So the original producer would be the producer. He would be the co-producer, and then it would
Okay.
just be up to y'all to determine who gets a.
The splits,
obviously,
right,
yeah.
and
Obviously, you
stuff.
would get a smaller percentage because you did like co-production.
Yeah, and I did
Which
like
is fine, but-
yeah. Does it
Yeah,
matter how it works? Like in my perspective, when I'm like looking at the track outs, right? I'm like, I really did like 3% maybe of the whole beat. Would that matter? Like, 'cause
Yeah,
there's no,
everything
like-
matters because it's like, okay, take away what you did. Is it still the same
Same
record?
song. Yeah.
That's true.
Like going back to what I said earlier, like like if you go read credits, like everything matters. The manager, the A&R, the label, the producer, the co-producer, the assistant engineer, the recording engineer, the mix engineer, the mastering engineer, the writer. You know what I'm saying? Like everything matters, because it's like if you take one of those away, it's not the same record.
Do you guys think we need to like use different words to differentiate between like who produced the song and who made the beat, or does it not matter that much?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything should be listed. Like if you was the co-producer, just be under co-producer. So then every time you have co-production credits, it's there. That means if I just use the example, if he's the co-production guy, and which can dang near be the finisher, y'all can do a record. Man, the drums are still not there. Okay, call my guy. We have an idea. Take the drums off. You add his drums. The record's done. You can get gigs just off that.
Loop making.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I got this guy. He just does drums after the record's done.
After the record's done.
Like, it's like, okay, cool. So that's why everything needs to be listed. So it's like, that's why I fight for my credits when I vocal produce a song, rapper or singer, and it's not listed. I'm like, yo, well, I taught you I coach you through that. Like, put that so I won't have to just say. I think when people know my work, they be like, oh yeah, Scotty did that. But like, that's cool. But for people who don't know, just list so you can read it yourself and just kind of differentiate.
I think vocal production is mad overlooked though too, because
now it is.
Yeah, I've been in sessions. Yeah, right. I've been in sessions and I'm like, yo, you didn't even think of that flow, bro. I literally gave you the flow and you just said
I had
you did
Melodyne that shit for you, bro. Right?
Yeah, or that. But I mean, like, even when you're like telling a person how you want it, because I can't sing and rap or whatever.
Oh, that's songwriting credits. Bro.
Yeah, but I won't
that's
can think of words, but I'll say how to say it. You know, what I, like, or the flow of it.
Yeah,
that's like you're producing their vocal in a way. Like you're like, you know what I mean? So
that's
it's
vocal
like,
production.
yeah. So it's like how can they not show love to that? Because that song wouldn't exist the way it does without you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that, and also a lot of people don't know. So sometimes you have to literally educate people. Like it's like a creative boundary. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so just so you know, even I wouldn't even talk to artists. I would talk to the manager or A&R. Be like, oh, who can I talk to about the credits, and then let them know, like, just so you know, I did vocal produce on this song as well as engineer. So if you don't mind, can you put me? And okay, cool. But if you don't tell them, they don't know. They just know they get a file. This sounds good. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
How would you define vocal production versus tracking engineering?
So
you could almost, like, a lot of people would just call vocal production tracking engineering because they're in there, they're making it happen as it goes, right?
Yeah. So tracking engineer is just when you record something. So when you record
Just
a vocal,
hitting that button on time.
Vocal production is when you coaching somebody, rapper or singer, through the record to say, hey, sing it like this, rap it like this, do this, step back from the mic and put more aggression on this word. Make this face when you sing this word, like hold your nose and sing this note, like all these weird things. That's vocal production. You coaching them through the record,
Right.
And it's like you said, now it's overlooked. But I think, well, in my mind, trying to think positive, I think it'll get back to where people will call vocal producers in.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's not me, but you can just call somebody to like come in and just coach you through a record. Rappers get vocal produced too.
Oh, yeah.
They
all
expect
the
the
time.
engineer to do it a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I think a lot
All
of,
the
like,
time.
especially
Yeah.
independent engineers are sort of doing vocal production by default.
By themselves.
Yes,
But
for
in
sure.
In the professional way, they'll send the vocal. They'll have their vocals produced, boom, boom, boom. Then they'll send the stems to the mixing engineer,
Sure.
and then he'll send it to the mastering. Whatever.
Also, if you're comping vocals, to me, that's vocal production too.
Yeah.
So if you do 10 takes and I say, hey, well, just sit back and I just chop it up, that's vocal production. Because you didn't say, well, do this, do that. Like,
vocal
I just had you do 10 takes and then boom, boom, boom. How I do it now is like, as you're doing a take and I like it, I just take the take that I like. Because we'll just be there all day.
Yeah.
You know?
Cut shit up. Yeah.
Man, like, oh man, give me like 5 minutes to record your 80 takes you did. Yeah, I got you.
I just put them in a different layer.
I'll go through the last four, man.
I use it as a
before-
dub or turn it down or something like that.
Yeah, but if I hear something good, I just hurry up, keep it.
Yep.
You know, like just because in a session, like your mind is moving so fast. You know,
Especially
so
as
it's like,
the person in the chair
Yeah.
too, because like you're thinking ahead of the artist.
yeah, and I'm the sober one, so I gotta be.
Hey,
I gotta.
I'm just kidding.
You're a sober one now
She's the
too.
official sober person, by the way.
You got to be faster than people who are not sober, and sometimes, depending who we're talking about, it's not easy. So it's just about like I was saying earlier, like just paying attention. You know, like, oh, I noticed when on that third bar they amp up on the third bar, so I'm gonna keep everything from the third bar over, and I'm gonna have them do bar 1 and 2 over. Because what's the use if you already got the energy on the third bar over? Why are we keep doing those takes?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can save you time. Like, hey, let's get these first 2 bars.
Yep.
Just say that like 8 times, and I can just chop it up, and just, all right, cool, next.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you see people punching in more or coming in with stuff written?
Yeah. Punching in is like
Punching.
the wave.
It's the new writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the new writing for anybody. Rappers, singers, don't matter what genre either. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like how I write all my songs. I'll just hum the melody.
Yeah.
And then I'll just
Start punching.
Yeah.
I'll just write lyrics after. Yeah.
Oh, you do that like that? Yeah.
I'll just like dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun,
people
the whole-
still-
and then I'll just like write the
Yeah.
lyrics after.
Yeah.
I'll start listening
I
to
like
the
that.
song back. Like, okay, what does this kind of remind me
Yeah.
of?
People still do that. I just always record just in case.
Yep.
So I keep everything. So they be like, oh, something. Oh, hold on, run it back. And I'm just like, no, keep going. Because you may say something dope. You may do something special. And you can't recreate energy. So it's like, if you in the booth and you're like, oh, that's hard. And you like, oh, what was that? And you're not recording, you missed that whole moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what people gonna say, play that back.
Yep.
You supposed to be recording, bro. You
Yeah. Just always be recorded. Yeah.
just play it off like, oh man, the computer was just
I don't know, glitched out or something.
going on.
Yes, I'm updating.
Even when they say don't record, like, oh, don't record right now. I'm just gonna listen to it. I'm still pressing the
please.
record button.
Yeah, I've learned. You
I'm
got to
still
learn that.
pressing it.
I learned that a long time ago. Like when I was like, I don't know, 18 maybe. Maybe before that. Nah, yeah, because I was in the session with someone. He was 18, and I was like, he was in the booth going crazy. And I was just I was
Playing
like,
the beat. Yeah.
I was just like, oh man,
Oh, yeah. Just fanning
and then
out.
he was like, yeah, play it back. And then I just like
red
looked
button
at
was
him. We made eye contact. He was like, bro, you didn't record. And I was like, And he was like in the booth, so I'm just looking like, man, there's something wrong with Pro Tools. Like, I'm like, oh man, it's something.
Blame it on the dog.
He's like,
I
bro,
love
just if
that.
you didn't record, it's okay. But he was like, just don't let it happen again. And I was like,
That's what,
Heard you.
I was like, I wasn't recording, bro. He's like, just press record, please. I was like,
so
oh my
polite.
God.
Yeah, that's real.
He was polite.
yeah.
At least he was cool about it.
Yeah, he was pissed though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like later on, he was a little older, and I was like a kid, like I was 18. He was like, "Bro, realize you knew," but he was like, "Please record, bro." Like,
At all
I could tell he
times.
was really mad, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Man," I told him afterwards, like once we got cool, I was like, "I commend you, bro."
Yeah.
He was like, "I was pissed." I was like, "Oh, you didn't have to tell me." Like it was his energy, like. Yeah, I won't say his name, but shout out to that guy.
Well, can you say the name of who is your favorite artist that you've worked with, or maybe your favorite credit that you have?
My favorite artist that I worked with.
You pick by genres too. Like this is one of my favorite singer, my favorite rapper. Something like
Okay. I like working with Jordan Armstrong. He's like a gospel artist. Well, gospel's like inspirational now. But I love mixing his stuff, and he's a producer, writer, artist. He's dope. Mixing wise, I love working with Rotimi. That's my dog. I just did his album. I do a lot for him, like recording, vocal production, mixing, mastering. So I just love working
There's
with
a
him.
meeting. Sorry.
Yeah. He performed at my wedding, by the way.
Oh, that's
that's
fire.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my guy. But I just like working with him because he lets me fly. Like, I can go in the room. He could be like, if you hear anything, suggest a line, vocal produce me, record. Like, he just lets me be me once he seen that I knew what I was doing and or knew what I could add to his work. You know what I'm saying? And I would say recording-wise, Millie, going back to Millie, she's dope. So it's more. Oh, Baby Tate, too.
Baby Tate.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, I love Baby Tate. That's sis right there. So, yeah.
Those are good ones.
What do you think like are the bad habits that you don't see in some bigger names, people that have had a lot of success versus people that are still coming up? Like especially like in tracking. Like I see a lot of guys that like when they're rapping, like when they get loud, they'll go at the mic, which doesn't really work.
Oh, yeah,
The
you have
tracking
to
perspective,
go
right?
away
Because like
from
it's
the mic.
already loud, you want to go the
Yeah.
opposite, right?
Yeah.
Bad habits is like,
smoking too much weed and not fucking paying attention to the session.
that.
Oh, that's another question. My
dang,
bad. I don't mean to. Does smoking is smoking bad for the equipment? I've
Yeah.
heard. Is
Yeah.
it?
So,
Really?
like, some mics can take it, but you're not supposed to, like, blow, like, sometimes rappers be blowing smoke into the mic.
Damn, somebody got to talk to
I
Lil
heard it
Wayne,
fucks
bro.
with the capacitor.
I mean,
or whatever it's
respectfully,
called.
who's going to...
It's Lil Wayne. Who the fuck's gonna say something?
I wouldn't.
No.
Fuck
that
like,
mic.
I'm supposed to be doing this?
It actually makes the
Good
vocals
for it.
better. Just keep doing that.
Yeah, just do it 3 more times.
Take that lean bottle. You can pour it right on that mic.
Totally fine. Like if he breaks the mic, he can buy like 8 of them. It doesn't even matter. A local, I'll be like, "Hey, bro, stop blowing."
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah, bad habits like mic position stuff, or like the way where they hold their voice versus
sometimes I guess with like some rappers, they don't realize that everybody can't be in the booth with them. So it's about like, like just honestly just manning up and just saying like, hey, but can you just come out the booth? But I got those takes though. But can we do some takes without them in the booth? Oh my bad, bro. But like sometimes I just let them get it out because like it's a vibe still. Yeah. So you don't want to be like, hey, bro, man, get out the booth, man.
Yeah.
So I'm just like. But sometimes, like, they can, like, going back to mic position, they can bump the mic. I'm not even worried about they change, because that adds character.
Totally, I love that, yeah.
But it's like, if you hit the mic and you rapping, and it's like, and I'm like, I can't keep that take.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes, like, you just gotta say it. I try to do it on, like, take 2. Like, after take 2, I'm like, hey, man, can you, either y'all got to back up or just come out, just come out and vibe for a little bit, man. We got a lobby outside, you know what I'm saying? We got games, we got cable, all that. Just let's let them get a few takes. And they're like, okay, cool. But it's all in your delivery. Because if you say it wrong, it's like,
Get the fuck up out the.
who you talking to, bro? You know what I'm saying? Because it's still a vibe. You want to just maintain the vibe. You don't want to come off as like a butthole.
Yeah, no, you just got to make sure they understand that you're just doing it for the good of the song.
Yeah, and usually like they come out and be like, "Oh, bro, was that distracting?" I was like, "I'm just, you accidentally hit the mic. I just want to get a good take from him." Oh, okay, cool, appreciate it, bro.
Right.
And then typically that goes well.
Yeah,
because I just try to, like I said, you say stuff with love. Most people be like, "Oh man, I appreciate it," but that's like the main bad habits, like the entourage going into the booth, or the entourage being in a room in general. And it's like, I know. I'm pretty sure y'all can relate in anything y'all do. Like sometimes people just got to be around for the vibes. Like this person is around because they're a good person. They make me work good. They hold me accountable. They need to be around. Cool. They can be in a room. There's 6 other people.
You just met 2 of them today.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like okay, if they don't have a role, like it's like you taking up space. I go to scoot my chair back. I hit 3 people. Like it's like it's like sometimes you just got to get out the
Or they start telling you like, "Oh, try this and that on the fucking mix
and
and
it's
shit."
like,
You're
it's like, what's your name again? Nice to meet you. Can you mind just going to the lobby for a little bit?
Yeah.
I've done that plenty of times.
I used to work with a rapper who's always brought his girl, and then they would end up arguing.
Yeah,
that's not a vibe. Some people can be in a room like together if you're in a relationship, and some people just can't.
Yeah, because they would always argue about his lyrics. Oh, who's that bitch?
Oh, come on.
I'm really good for clearing rooms though. Like, but it had to happen over time. So I'm really good for clearing rooms. Like sometimes the artists be like, man, throw it on me. I'm like, bet. So John wants everyone to get out while we finish this record. Then I'll just get you at the end of the song, and they'll just be sitting there like, just like what I'm talking. And or I wait for them to walk out, and they be like, hey, sometimes artists text me like, hey, can you clear the room? And they'll just walk out real quick. And then so when they're walking out, they're seeing their entourage as they're walking back in, and then they're like, oh yeah, I just need the room. Because some people don't like doing that. Some people look at that as conflict. And my dad was military, so I'm all about conflict. That don't mean smoke. That don't mean we beefing. That don't mean we gangsters. It's just like, yo, for this moment, you should probably just get out the room until we're done with this record. Then you can come back in. And then here, we're going to have a party once this record is done. You know what I'm saying? But for now, just give us like 30 minutes or an hour or even 2. Yeah. Just so we can finish this. And then let's circle back to that crew party moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm good for cleaning the room easily. Sometimes.
Has there ever been a bad time, like an altercation or something off of the way you said it, or you feel like you always deliver it?
Yeah, that's why I had to like eventually evolve into that person, because sometimes I just be like so irritated, and it'll just show on my face and my body language, and it's just like, dang, like you don't want us in here. You know what I'm saying? So I had to work on that. But yeah, nothing like where I got in a fight or anything, but it's definitely like, yeah, bro, can you just watch how you said that next time, please? That was pretty rude. And I'm just like, but I definitely had to work on that, like for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to maintain the vibe at all times, even if you don't like somebody or something's going wrong.
That's the hardest part about the production side.
Yeah,
of it is like
it's like you making a beat and someone's talking the whole time. It's like
that's what's different about beat maker, I think, than a producer. The producer maintains the vibe. The beat maker just maintains those loops. You just, you know what I'm saying? Stay in the box.
Beat, send it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I like being in the room. especially if it's my beat.
Yeah, for sure.
Same,
And then sometimes you just gotta thug it out. So if someone's talking, sometimes you just gotta turn the speakers up and just thug it out. You know, it's like
Just gradually keep turning it up while they talk. Yeah, that's crazy.
Eventually they'll get it. They were like, okay, he turned the
we don't
speakers
wanna
up 3
listen.
times. Yeah, so
I meant more though that I like if I made the beat, I want to be the one to track it too.
oh, that's dope. A lot of people not like that though.
Yeah. 'Cause I'd rather I'm more into like the whole song, not just the beat side.
Yeah,
I
so
would
you're a
say so.
producer. You're a
man.
real producer
I
for
think
sure.
so.
So you see the record from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll do the videos with my brother there.
Yeah, he's one of the people I was talking about. Like
the
you
way.
do the full thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoy the whole process. Yeah.
That's how it
I
should
don't.
be.
Yeah.
You
I
like
hate
being
that.
there
I
when the
hate
records
this.
get mixed?
I
mixes
usually I like to mix them.
I like you, man.
I like you too, Scotty.
Yeah, thanks, brother. That's bromance right there.
Not Valentine's Day yet.
Oh wow.
All right, let's get technical
he didn't
for a
make-
little
give you a
bit.
quest for
Let's
that
get
one, bro.
technical.
All
So
right, I'm gonna sit back.
yeah, you
Rabbits.
just chill for a second, Naughty.
Okay.
You can ask questions if you really want to know anything that we're talking
Wait, can I
about.
ask a question before you guys?
Yeah.
do that?
Oh yeah, please, sure.
I do want to know about sampling. Like, how do you go about clearing a sample?
And do you?
And do you?
Yeah, so I try to anytime I'm in a room, like if a sample, whether if it's me or someone else, just know that you may not get a big percentage of that record. You know what I'm saying? And just really, if you're gonna sample something, like just do it because you want to do it, and then just know that we may not get a lot of percentage of the record, but even if a record does well, like 5% of what people would call a hit record or a record that does exceptionally well, you know, none of that matters.
But how do you get it like cleared, or like, or do you drop it and then get it cleared? Like,
Yeah, like what would
is
you
it?
what would
You
you, what would
can
you
do
say
that.
to like an artist who may or may not be sober for the last 8 days, may have just put out a project, had a song or two on the album with
A sample?
very noticeable like big song samples.
I didn't know the sample. He knew
Yeah.
it.
So it's a lot of ways you can get songs clear. Like sometimes people be like, oh, you got to go to the label. You could actually just go to the person who owns a master. Sometimes it's not always the label that owns a master. It may be, well, most of the time it is, but it may be the writer, it may be the producer. If you know the manager, if you know the A&R, like you can go through them and be like, hey, we got this song, send them the song. If they like it, they're gonna clear it. It's that simple. And just I guess like going directly to the source instead of like going around like, well, I'm gonna go to this person and this person. Like you can look up who wrote it, who produced it, and just contact them directly. We're in a world where you can find anybody's email, anybody's like anything. Just send it to them and just go about that, because the worst
I'm gonna
thing
say Scotty sent me.
that's terrible. The worst thing they can do is say take it down,
Yeah.
feel
or
like
just
it's
be like,
even-
oh, give me 80%.
Do you feel like it's even worth it as like an artist coming up though to deal with all that?
Bro.
If it's a good record, yes.
Yeah.
Because my thing is a good record is a good record.
Yeah.
From an independent or a major. So it's like, if a sample's in it and you really believe in it, you think it's gonna go, why not? I mean, you can always thug it out and wait, and just when it blows
you
up.
think they're
but
gonna sue me?
It's a good problem to
They
have.
probably want to. A lot of people's not even going to court about music nowadays. Like it's very rare.
Okay.
So I don't
Probably
think
cost
they'll
them more
sue
than
you.
they'll get out of you.
They'll probably send you a cease and desist.
Cease and
maybe.
desist type deal.
Yeah. Or just be like I said, they may be like, oh, matter of fact, just give me 85%. Or
I don't care. They could take whatever. They could take the whole song. I just want it out, and then yeah.
Well, because you could still perform it and make bread off that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
look at what it did for Juice WRLD. He barely got some of that song. What's that like one of his
The
biggest
police
songs.
sample, yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like they was paying him they did like the math. It was like thousands of dollars a day because that song was out. But he's like, I don't care.
he
It's
blew up
fucking Juice
because of
WRLD.
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you just gotta be prepared for that when you sampling, and just think about the bigger picture. Like when I do a song with anybody, I just think about the bigger picture. Like like I said, just going back to C4 and we was collaborating earlier. Like it didn't matter who wrote what, who did this, who did that. Like I present everything to an artist as an idea. Like I don't want to come in and write a song for you. I don't want to come in and just engineer a song for you. We're here together to make the best product.
Here's an idea. You can choose to use it or not.
Everything's an idea.
Right.
And sometimes they may pick one line or one phrase or I might have someone else engineer it. Like just whatever you're there for, like use whatever. Everything's an idea.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I'm collaborating with people, I just like to present ideas. Like, no, I don't write for this artist. We work together. We make a record. Sometimes I'm there for vibes. Like I might be like, "Woo, that's hard. Do this, do that, do that," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I'm producing this session. Great, but as long as we in the room, it just because the vibe may be different. You may get in the studio with an artist, and they be like, "Hey, let's write some songs together," and then you end up just vocal producing them. They writing the whole song, and that's fine. That's a credit too. Depending on who you work with, that could be a percentage. So that's why that goes back to like me saying like I want to be able to do anything I can in a room. So if they need a vocal producer, I'm there. They need a writer, I'm there. They need an engineer. Like, oh, the engineer's like, cool, I got my hard drive. Let's do it. When they get here, they can just take over.
It sounds like from hearing you talk about the way you work, you know, to kind of answer Naughty's superpower question, I think something that sounds like you have is a very good control of your ego. And you don't let your ego interfere
I just
in the
leave
process.
it at home.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
just leave it away.
Yeah, I think it has no place in the studio. It only ruins shit.
Yeah.
Or-
And then it's like, it don't matter if it's major or independent artists. You just got to leave your ego at home. I've worked with very successful people outside of like obviously myself, like, and meeting super successful people and seeing how they move is like, oh, I have no room to act how I'm acting. None.
Why? Because like they're polite and ego free.
Just it could be polite and then just their work ethic.
Yeah.
Like seeing who can I give an example? Who's someone I worked with recently? I just use Rotimi as an example. Like just dope, humble guy, but just, you know, he just comes in, he's open. Like anytime a writer came through, he's like, I'm cutting everything. I'm like, man, like that's dope.
Yeah.
But some artists be like, oh, I'm not cutting that. He's like, I'll try it. Then he'll give me a look, and I'll be like, oh yeah, this ain't working for him. But he'll try it. And I'm just like, wow, that's, you know, and he's not super, super huge, but he's big enough to be like, oh, what I want to cut. And he's just like, oh, he'll just try it.
Why not, right?
And I'm just like, wow, that's inspiring because some people be like, oh, that's not my vibe. And I'm like, well, that's the #1 record. You know, you should have cut it. But, you know, and that's just dope. You just, when you're creative in general, you just got to try stuff.
Yeah.
The worst thing that can happen is you cut the hook, you cut the verse, you don't like it.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's why the first rule of improv is don't say no.
Yeah. But leaving your ego, I'm huge on that. Like, you don't know where anybody is going to be even tomorrow. Like, this dude can be the biggest engineer ever.
Could be.
Like, soon.
Shout out to Kai.
shout out
Shout out to Kai.
But it can happen because I remember being like the new guy. And
Yeah.
then 7 years later, 8 years later, it looks a lot different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I remember like how people would treat you like, oh, you like the guy with the take. I was a kid, just chasing a dream, and so if he called me, I got him. I probably wouldn't even charge him.
Right.
Because he helped save my career and just like forever to think like, oh, bro, you better always record. And you could have, he could have. And he was drinking too, so he could have like really been like crashing out
Hey.
on people.
Hey.
You know,
He missed the
so-
meeting, dog.
And literally. Facts.
So yeah, it's just
MCM.
yeah, that ego you gotta leave it because I've seen it go bad. Not for me, but for
I've been in a couple bands where it's gone. It was like it fell apart only because the one person wanted to be the songwriter, the this and that, You know what I mean? So
you gotta collaborate. You gotta know your role. If you're in
if I
a
don't feel
room-
like a kid in the studio, like where I'm like, "Ooh, let's go," then I feel like it's not fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
I
not.
feel like
when the ego's involved, it just ruins. I'm really big on energy too. Like even the energy in this room is just dope. Like I just feel I'm comfortable. I'm
good, man.
cooling. You got the lights, like you got the water. Like I'm just cooling. So it's like that's important too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I would have easily. Like where's the bathroom?
Oh, wow. You would have pulled the hard drive on us?
Yeah, just-
Damn.
you know what I'm saying? So it's just like even just conversation is really important. Like before our session today, we talked for almost 2 hours. We just vibe. How you feeling? You know, how's your relationship going? Like, oh, you married? Congratulations! Just like everything is vibe, and then we did 2 amazing records. But it's just the build up with that. You know, even like how we was vibing before, like it started.
Yeah.
You know, y'all could have been tripping, like, bro, you late. This and that.
Now, we call that the podcast before the podcast, bro.
But I like that though. Like that's important. We didn't just sit down like, yeah, man. So how was it working with Travis Scott? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was just like, you know, how was your Christmas? This and that. Like, oh, like that was dope. Like that matters. And the fact that you do that off camera and on camera is why you won Podcast of the Year.
Hey.
Shout out to that. Thank
That's
you.
right. We did win that.
Wait, we did.
you.
You know?
So
Santa
all
didn't make
that-
us go on a whole adventure to the Bahamas for it.
all that matters though. Like I'm really big on energy. Like I've always been, and that ego, man.
Destroys it.
It'd be funny because I've seen people with that ego, and I'm like, dog, you have 200 followers. Like you got 2 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Yeah.
Like you don't like. There's been situations because like we worked a lot off splits when we make beats.
Yeah.
And we do all of that, and that's been our concept. We were working for free. Like be like, yo, will you get the beat? You got to make sure we get the split. And then that would be an issue. And I'm like, and then one of the guys who did it, I'm not even bringing it up. I'm like, dog, we did Dallas did everything for you, and you're complaining about 25% right now? Fuck off. Oh, yeah. You got 300 people that you follow in life on Facebook.
Yeah, I've took like 3% of a record, and I've done a lot before.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I'll just put it out.
Right.
Hey, you cool with 3? Yeah. You bust down the middle, that's, 5 writing, 5 pubs. So, I mean, 1.5. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I was like, cool.
Right. And who knows where you could get with that. But it was just.
Yeah. And the record did good.
Right. You probably helped pay for that ring.
My wife paid for this ring.
Oh.
Wow.
Period.
Shout out to her.
Oh yeah.
We love
But
that.
you paid for
queen.
her ring.
Yes, remember that gift giving conversation we talked about earlier?
Yeah. Definitely paid for her ring. That was
Still
me.
paying for it. Nice.
He said, yeah.
All right, so what's the tracking
No,
chain?
it's
You said hardware.
Yes, absolutely. My go-to chain is preamp Neve 1073, the classic version. Then CL1B compressor. The microphone, depending on the voice. If we're talking a female singer, Telefunken 251. If we're talking about a male singer, Telefunken 49. Is it a 49? The huge diaphragm one?
I don't know. I just have the Slate emulations.
Okay.
This late
That
digital.
sounds like his sounded cooler. I don't know what y'all
Sounded
talking
way cooler.
about.
No, I'm just talking about some bullshit.
Oh,
software. Yeah,
also
Mike.
another thing in the mic chain. So that's like my go-to chain.
Yeah.
That's like a super rare, almost rare mic at this point. So, but I'm not mad at the Sony C800, but it's just so bright.
Yeah,
In
I hear that
the
too.
high end and the mid range. You know what I'm saying? But if not the Sony C800, I do enjoy. Depending the vocalist, you can go with the classic U87. That was like Atlanta culture at one point. You couldn't walk into a studio and not see the U87.
Oh, yeah.
Like I got burnt out from the U87. Like I was like, yo, take that mic out. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like,
Yeah.
move like any other mic, just bring it to me. You know what I'm saying? But that's been like my go-to chain that I use for everything.
Okay. So just a little bit of EQ, a little bit of compression type shit?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So on the Neve 1073, I bypassed the EQ.
Oh, really? So just getting the preamp tone or whatever?
And then I drive, because on the Neve 1073, what a lot of people don't know, the red button is the input button, but it's actually a saturation button too. So if
Right.
you drive it more, you get more saturation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I try to just find that balance of that in the CL1B, and then that's been my go-to chain.
How many decibels of compression you going for on the CL1B?
So I'm glad you asked this. I'm glad we're on a podcast because I had to figure this out myself, and there's no secrets. So I always start with 3 dB of compression, but what a lot of people don't know is like that I had to figure out is like if you go to like 5 and 7, that's the sweet spot. It don't have to stay there, but if it just goes there ever so often,
That's what's
man, you'll just hear a certain. I feel like certain frequencies pop out. Yeah, but that was trial and error over years. Like I'll be recording, just looking at the meter, looking at the meter.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that sounds good. And I'm like, oh, what happened? And I seen the meter would go to a certain sweet spot. And I'm just like, I noticed that certain frequencies get warmer and pop out more when it goes to that 5 and 7.
I have a question about that. Does that happen when somebody's recording? Like you're saying that.
Yes.
And
So the meter moves.
do you think that frequency has to do with like spirits or spiritually at all? I'm getting crazy, but I'm being for real because sometimes I think music is
all the
like
engineers that are
ritual.
watching just turn
I know
this
they're
off.
like,
Yo,
they're like, what? What is
does
this
it change
bitch
when
talking
their sound's
about?
different?
Question,
If they
I
are
mean-
Pisces,
I think
something
so.
That's
Right?
crazy.
I mean,
That's wild.
Because you just said it was frequency. Like imagine if that person just
But
had the
like a
frequency.
vocal, a frequency.
I know, but sometimes frequencies. Come on, y'all making me feel crazy. I won't hear
Nah,
what
nah,
you
there
saying.
is.
Come on.
you're not crazy.
There's an angel frequency and shit. I've heard of that. Yeah,
And
that's a thing.
demonic. I was thinking like because music's like ritualistic, and I was even gonna ask you that like if you, but whatever. When you said the frequency and then the decibel, and then when it go to 5 to 7, it's like the sweet spot. I'm like, man, what if that means that like that's that vibe you talking about, or this person just hit a certain part in their spirit when
Probably.
they said it the right way?
Ultimately, it
I mean,
probably is.
everybody
so-
has spirits. Like it can be a joyful spirit. It can
Y'all
be
playing with me.
No, you're. It's not a reach. It's not a reach. It can be.
We just had to make fun of it real quick.
Right,
It's
right.
cool.
That is hilarious though.
yeah.
That's where my mind goes.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, you make me sound crazy. You start shaking again.
Tequila.
Oh no.
Oh
But-
my God. Sorry. Back to your engineer.
So you get vocals in that way.
Yeah.
And now, like I record at home, and sometimes I record at studios, right? So like at home, I don't have all that shit. Sometimes it's in studios, they do.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I notice for sure when I'm working on those mixes, I'm like, damn, this vocal is really easy to mix. Yeah. It's like way easier than usual. What's going on?
Yeah.
And you think it's because of that?
Yeah, absolutely. A good track vocal or a great track vocal, should I say, makes an easier mix. You know, because in college, my mentor at the time, Dan Marshall, used to always tell me, you can't polish a turd.
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
a turd is a turd.
Especially when you're tuning vocals, I've noticed that the more dynamic your vocal is before you put the, because I know you go in the box, right? So you probably put the tuning after it's all hardware compressed and stuff. That I've noticed that less dynamic, so it's more compressed.
Yeah.
It hits the tune better when
It's
it's
a little bit
less
easier to deal with.
Yeah, when it's more dynamic and it's like, you know, loud parts and then soft parts, it hits the tune a little bit different.
Okay.
Yeah. Back to the chain. I did want to say something. I used to use the AU610 a lot.
I don't know what that is.
You said you do?
No, AU610. I'm trying to think of what company.
Excuse me, not AU, the UA.
Oh,
Universal Audio 610.
Okay, UA.
Okay.
I used to
What, a
use that a
compressor?
lot. As you know, it has like a preamp and a compressor on it.
Oh, okay.
So I used to use that a lot, and then eventually I like grew into the
CL1B.
the CL1B and the Neve, but I may use it again.
That's it
So,
there.
Yeah, I used to use the hardware if we can, but that is the plug-in version.
Yeah.
That's the plugin? Oh, that's something else.
610.
Well, that's just like a
Not
desktop
that
thing.
one.
That looks
it's
cool,
a it's
like
like
like one of those rack mount things.
yeah, it's one of those.
500
That one is
series
good though. That one is good.
Cool.
But it's not that one. He probably won't pull up.
No big deal.
Yo, for Christmas and shit, did people
That
get you
does look
plugins,
like
bro?
it, though, this song.
No.
So when you're going into the box, what do you mainly? So we know the hardware,
Pause.
the Neve, the CL1B.
Okay.
How was that?
Say it
He's a
again.
married man.
But into the box, that ain't a pause.
I know
In the-
it's not
that's
about.
the- that's
I
the
just want to
continue.
say
When you go into the like pass after the hardware
Yeah, what's the
processing,
processing?
what's the
and-
digital
and-
comp?
Yeah.
That's it. I'm gonna answer your question. Sorry, but that's it.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
I
cool.
used to use that a lot, and $2,000 for its quality is actually
Oh,
insane.
optical
Really?
compressor too.
That should be way more than that.
Oh, we're gonna have to pick one of those up, Rob,
Yeah,
for our secret project.
yeah.
LA610.
But I think people sleep on that because, like, you know, they obviously hear the standard Neve 1073 CL1B, but
Yeah.
like, that's great,
Really?
and it's probably you're gonna probably save a third of the money.
At
What's
least,
your
right?
opinion on the Pultec EQ?
Oh, love it. That's one of my favorite
That's
EQs
one of
of
my
all time.
favorites, too.
That's my second favorite EQ of all time. You wanna know what my first one is?
Yeah.
Pro Q3.
Dang, you're bad. Just playing.
Oh, really?
That's my third favorite EQ of
Okay,
all time.
okay.
My first one is Pro Tools EQ.
Pro Tools. EQ.
shit.
7-band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with the knobs and shit.
Yep,
Really?
simple. Man, I've used that on so many records.
Yeah.
So many plaques with that EQ. And people
Really?
are like, "Oh man, what EQ you use?" And I'm like,
Stock.
"You ready? You ready for this? Yeah, just
Because it's just a digital EQ, right? Like,
and it's
those
just
doesn't really
transparent.
matter
Adds no
necessarily, yeah.
color.
Yeah.
It's just it does its job.
Yeah.
And I used that for years before I moved on to other EQs.
Do you use linear phasing at all when you EQ? I know you're getting like these big, heavy stems. Like I always hear like it adds
Sometimes.
pre-ringing and shit, but
Sometimes when it comes to EQ, I'm really basic. You know, I just got into dynamic EQing. You know what I'm saying? But I've been knew what it was, obviously. But I'm a simple EQ guy. Pro Tools EQ. I do use Pro Q, and then I put Pultec on everything.
me too. I use that and then
Everything.
Pro Q3 for dynamic EQ.
Yeah. I love dynamic EQ. I just got into multi-band compression lately too. Like heavy.
For sure.
Like on everything. Like
You doing 4 bands or 3 bands? Or multi-band?
multi-band. So it's like what is it
More
like?
than 4?
What does it go up to like? I try to
probably
go.
go to
I
like
try to
using
stay
Pro
at
MB?
4.
Yeah, I try to stay
Yeah,
at 4 too.
I try to stay at 4.
Yeah.
I've done more than 4 in the past, but 4 you can go from 20 to 20,000. Like
Easy, yeah.
if you do more than that, you're like, ooh, 5 bands, like more frequency. It's just
What are you using on vocals?
in the box.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm saying, what are you using the multiband on vocals?
Oh, everything. Like so, I usually put it on my all vocals aux. You know what I'm saying? Just to help control
Aux.
everything. I
Yeah.
do the same thing for my all music aux, just to control everything, and I love putting it on. What's crazy? I love putting multi-band compression on my 808s to help control it.
What do you do there exactly?
I select 80 hertz and I help tame it, and I do like half a dB of compression, and I like the way it helps control it, but you still get that oomph.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been doing that lately, like just a super subtle thing, super subtle. Yeah.
I like that.
You asked a question earlier, I didn't answer it. I'm sorry.
Your vocal chain, but in the box.
Boom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
yeah.
So, vocal chain in the box, SSL EQ.
Doing what?
So doing subtractive EQ and adding a little bit of 8K. Doing about 2 to 3 dB compression, and
So you're using like the channel strip?
yeah, the channel strip. Yeah,
Okay.
SSL channel strip EQ. So I'm doing like I usually start like a 120 roll off. Then I do subtractive EQ, get rid of like the muddiness, the boxiness, and then add a little bit of high end between. Sometimes lately I've been adding like 14K on vocals just to give it like some air. Can't add on everybody's vocals, but usually 8K on a vocal just to give it a little crisp, and then use the compressor. I don't use a gate on there, and then after that, I usually do. So that's subtractive. I usually do compression. I've been using the L-Ray.
Oh yeah, that's the one that
Greg
Jason
Wells.
Joshua uses, right?
Yeah, that's where I got it from.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy. He's
Yeah,
amazing.
Jason.
He's mixed a lot of stuff that I've recorded
particle?
over
Really?
the years.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
he's actually funny story. Then I get back into the chain. I was there when he came to Atlanta. It was like an engineer boot camp, and he came to Atlanta and he was mixing the what's the Lil Durk and Lil Baby album?
Bigger. No, that's where the bigger picture is on, but it's Dirk and I don't remember the gray one.
Voice of the Heroes.
Voice of the
Yes.
Heroes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So it was like an engineer boot camp, and it was like Dirk's engineer was there, Nick Rice, that's my guy. Lil Baby's engineer was there. My boy Prizzle was there. It was just like an engineer boot camp, like the Avengers. And
They're all working on this one song?
yeah, but like we was like watching him work too. So it was like he was giving out it was crazy.
What was the coolest thing you learned that day?
Just how fast and confident he made decisions
Really?
without even thinking.
Do you think that's just the benefit of like he's done it so many times, his ears so
Yeah.
good, like he doesn't
just
need to
knew.
rethink shit because he's hitting it the first time? Or?
Yeah, he just knew. It's just like
Yeah.
he got I remember he imported some Rod Wave vocals and was just like instantly just started like mixing them and knew exactly what to do. And I'm just sitting here like, that was a totally different vocal you was mixing like 30 minutes ago. And he just was like, cool. And just a totally different 808, just totally different snare and just confident. And I went home, I tweaked my template. Like, I had to be to church that morning too. I had to do the audio and I was like sleepy in church because I was like editing my template on.
No shit. That's awesome.
So I was just like, it just motivated me so much, dude. Like, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I love being able to watch people work as opposed to like them instructing you on certain tips. Like I just want to see
Yeah.
how you approach shit.
Yeah,
was- it
I'd be
was
watching the
definitely inspiring.
mix with the masters breakdowns.
Yeah,
I'm just
those are
like,
awesome.
oh, this is like porn for a producer, bro. I just love watching that shit.
Hey,
I just
yo.
like,
No,
oh,
No pause on that.
We love porn.
yeah, fuck it.
Come on, bro. It's 2025, dog. Come on, Dallas.
Is the El Rey? That's like $200, right? Like, is that shit? Is it worth it?
I think it is.
Yeah. I've been thinking about it. but
It's
I'm
not.
like, damn.
It's not for everyone though. Like it's definitely a taste thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Like the way that it sounds and shit.
Yeah, I think it just adds more weight to the vocal, even though it's a compressor. So I'm just like, wow. Like, so you got the super thin vocals. Yeah, add that bad boy on there and just you could-
Array over the R comp, you think? Yeah.
Well, certain vocals, yes.
Okay,
R comp, that's technically a mastering compressor. So, like the whole R channel series, it's like a mastering thing. So it's like R comp is more smooth. I love R comp on 808s. I love R comp on kicks, and I love R comp on background vocals. Like just smashing the hell out the
Yeah.
background vocals.
I do notice
Yeah.
it's sensitive. You gotta be like, it's
Yeah,
like,
it is.
yeah.
So, so back to the chain after the L Ray, so what's it? The SSL channel, EQ, L Ray, multi-band,
Just doing what? Just controlling problem
Yeah.
frequencies and
Yep.
shit. Things are sticking
Control.
out too much.
multi-band, Pro Q, multi-band, Pro Q. What's after that? Fresh Air.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
fresh air is
Slave
after
Days,
that.
go crazy.
Yep.
That's a
And
good one.
then
I like fresh air. I always feel weird because it's free. I'm like,
Yeah.
there must be something better. This one was free.
It's harsh.
it really
Can
should.
be.
Yeah, it can
It's
be.
the only thing. It's just harsh.
Yeah, but you can do like 3. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
Literally,
and you can
that's
hear
what I
it.
do. I'm
Yep.
like 5.
After fresh air, soothe.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of
Soothe.
people think I like Soothe. A lot of
Yeah.
people like hate on it. They're like, it takes all the life out. So do you tweak it in a certain way, like with
Yeah.
the mix or whatever?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people that say that probably don't know how to use it.
Probably
You know
goes
what
too
I'm
hard.
saying? So,
Yeah.
many times I had to really like just mess with it and find out what is it actually doing. Because like at first it's just like a lot of these plugins just sound good.
Yep.
And I'm not the type to just be like, oh, well, Scotty said use a plugin, use it. Like, no, okay. Go see why he said that. Go
Yeah.
see why Jason Joshua said that. Go see why Dave Pensato said that. Go see why Tony Maserati said it, and just use it for yourself, and then tweak it and be like, oh, okay, I get it. Because it's been times where people be like, oh, you got to use this, and I'm like, man, that's not for me, dog. You know what I'm saying? And then it's times where I've used it, and I'm like, oh, I get why
Yeah.
they said that.
So yeah, how are you tweaking it?
It's so you know so at the top where you can do the attack.
Like the depth or whatever?
Yeah,
Like how hard
so
it goes?
I like to crush it.
Really?
Yeah, and then once I hear it exaggerate, I just slowly
mix down.
Yep, and that's
Parallel.
it.
Okay.
You can like make your own preset too. So like sometimes if I do a vocal and I may start at another preset or default, I just like mess with it and then rename it Scotty Harsh Vocals.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then just because hopefully they'll reach out one day. And then
Hell
because I have presets on so many different plugins, bro. So
Yeah.
yeah.
if I get a call, I'm like, man, I'm gonna empty like 13 on a clip. Like,
Yeah.
so glad you asked. So, but yeah, so after Soothe, I believe I add the NLS, Neve.
That's the noise,
NLS.
It's like a
the noise suppressor.
no, it's like a saturation plugin.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And then it just saturates everything I just told you.
Okay.
Yep.
So a little
that's like
saturation
my,
at the end.
yeah, that's like my usual chain for everything.
Okay.
Everything over the last couple of years, actually.
You ever put out content teaching this sort of stuff or think about that?
He's not open.
You got to be more open. You didn't hear Rob's speech? that you did on the show?
Please.
No, like, no, just because I think I think a lot of what's good about modern day is like,
Yeah.
yo, when I started making beats, it's YouTube universities,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and I feel like when you have knowledge like that and the experience you have and you have accolades
Yeah.
to show behind that, there's going to be people who listen to you just based off that.
Yeah.
And, you have like a calming voice and shit like that. And that's probably from you being in the sessions. So you just put, you don't even got to show your face, dog. You just put the video.
I like my face.
I do this. I mean, no, but you know what I'm saying, dog. It's all right. No, but like, I'm fucking-
Yeah, we're gonna get together tomorrow and do some content like that. I
Oh, for
think,
sure.
right?
That'd be
Yeah,
dope.
we'll get in the
That's
studio
fire.
and tweak.
yeah, but
Yo,
you know,
I have 2 more technical questions that it's just been scratching my brain right now.
Can I answer this question real quick?
Oh, yeah, real
Before I
quick.
forget. Yes, I've always thought about putting out content, and this year, even stuff like this, like I was just telling Rob, like, it's great to have a business partner like him because it's just like, I feel like he like believes in me, but he forces me to, in a good way, to think bigger. And I'm blessed that some people know my work, and for the people that don't, I would love to do content and pull up sessions that did well. And
yeah, that'd be dope. Like
You know
a
what I'm
genius
saying?
style
But-
breakdown.
yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
I this year I'm getting into all that tutorials, all that. I just want to open up and have people see my face and just
Once a week, bro. I think you could do that.
yeah, thanks, man.
Drop something once a
like
week.
mixing Mondays or something. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, but that's the mission. I want to do
Scotty
more
Sundays.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
Scotty Sunday.
Yeah, because you all in the church and shit. That actually is a fire idea.
churching.
Scotty service.
You know what I mean?
Preaching.
That's funny.
Have the
I don't work
the red van in
Sundays.
the intro.
Oh my
Well,
god!
you don't
Thank God that red van's gone.
That thing sounds awesome.
Oh
man.
my god!
Bro, that gotta be the album cover,
Yeah.
dog.
Bring
What
it
do you
back.
mean?
Right.
You gotta find that. Go to the
Yes,
junkyard.
Kendrick on
Go
there.
to the
People don't
junkyard.
know. And it's funny story. And then to your question, sorry, but I remember when I used to work at Saw Studios, and the van used to take up 2 spots. And this would be funny. The owner used to walk in, Scotty. As soon as he said that, I already knew. He was like, "Bro, I have to move," because it would take up like 2.5 spots. And he was like,
What you parking sideways? Why is it that big?
so if I parked on the side of the street, like just in the front of a building, like if I parked on the front out
Okay,
there,
okay.
it would just 2.5 spots, and then but they had like an intersection where I could park, and it wasn't even a far walk. I just liked parking in the front of the studio.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Bro, love you, bro. You gotta move the van." And it was funny because when he walked in, I'd be like, "Man," I'll just say the sentence with him. Like, he'd be like, "Man, Scotty," I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" He like, "Man, love you, bro, but you gotta move the van." You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, bro, you taking up 2.5 spots, bro. So, but that was
You
a
should
part
have been
of my
like, I'm
journey.
saving it for y'all for when you come
I'm
in.
saying safety.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
your
my
question?
I'm gonna
question.
show you a picture of that Ray-Ban.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Nah, it was about sidechain compression. Do you ever do it, and what do you sidechain?
I sidechain my kicks and 808s all the
You
time.
do the
Okay,
soothe trick with.
Do you ever
Yeah, I do that shit,
sidechain?
yeah.
If you're working with 2 tracks, I get a bunch of 2 tracks all the time where it's just the beat and vocals. Do you ever sidechain? Like if I have, because it's like if I ever have to finalize or something, whatever, I'm always finding myself sidechaining the beat to the vocals. Like,
I just feel like that's too much work.
Yeah.
I turn it down, I parallel compress it, and then I just go from there.
You're not even like EQing away some areas for the vocal.
If it clashes, yes.
Yeah.
But nah, I just leave it. Because some producers are like really good at mixing, bro. So it's like
Leave
if
space.
it's like a really dope mix, but it's just unfortunately a 2-track, man, I just leave it.
Right.
It's less trouble.
Totally.
Yeah, so I just leave it. Like I've done so many tricks, dude. Like, and I'm just over the years. I'm like, you're over processing something,
yeah, yeah.
and then you're doing more work for nothing.
Right.
So
That
Not
leaves
even a little track spacer, just in the mids, nah.
nope.
right.
Maybe
I
I
have track
should, but
spacers,
like
too.
I don't really get I haven't been getting 2 tracks often,
Yeah.
so I've been a little bit.
Well, even if you got the beat stems, like you can, side chain the melody when the vocal hits and shit.
Yeah,
I'm really big on subtractive EQ,
Okay.
so I try to like carve. I'm really big on carving.
So you do that in the stems
Yeah.
of a beat.
So I make carve like it can be like 0.7 dB. It don't have to be 1, 2, 3. It can just be like 0.7,
Yeah.
0.5, just to create space. And then I've been doing a lot of what is it, like mid-side lately? Mid-side EQ.
That's what I like about track
Inside's
spacing because
nice,
you can
yeah.
have it hit like just the mids.
Yeah.
Just the mid,
Yeah.
like in the mids.
Yeah.
Just make a little
I
transparent.
probably-
Aux
probably
the
need to tap into
hi-hat
track
too in track space, or you can aux the hi hat and just like sidechain every time the hi hat happens, or every time the vocals happen, the hi hat's like kind of dynamically
away a little bit.
compressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I've been doing lately, speaking of hi-hats, what I've been doing lately with my hi-hats, I've been like if it's sent in stereo, I'll just right click it on Pro Tools and go to split to mono, and I'll put a auto pan on it.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good.
Yeah, I've
that's
been doing that
nice.
lately.
That's
That
a good
sound cool.
idea.
So for the drummers out there, it feels like they're moving.
Yeah.
You don't feel like that could be distracting though for
an
the
auto
listener,
pan.
where like
I
the
think-
hi-hat's doing too much?
If
No?
you just time it right.
Yeah.
'Cause they don't have to be the song going on. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can be like
Yes, slowly. Mm.
like you know what I'm saying. And then like sometimes doing different part of the song, I may time it different.
Right.
So maybe going like this doing the hook and then doing the verses like this.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, just minor things that make a record feel like it's moving.
Yeah.
You don't want to listen to a record and it feels right here.
No.
I think Sound Toys makes a painter that does that, and they'll show you how fast it's going and shit.
Yeah, Pan Man does all type of shit.
Yeah, Pan Man is
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
I like putting that on hi-hats, but like just like, or all what I like to do is I'll have a hi-hat pattern and then I'll put like a ping pong delay on it.
Yeah.
And it makes like a new pattern.
Yeah.
But it's like some of the notes are bouncing around and shit.
Well,
Yeah.
what's dope in FL, you can do that in the piano roll.
Yeah,
you can
I-
pan
yeah,
it
you can program
left
that
and
way. I like
right
that
in
shit.
whatever you want. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's why I love.
That's one thing I like a lot
paint
about
it.
it.
drumming
That's
in
dope.
FL is
Yeah.
super easy.
That's dope.
I had my bad.
yeah.
Before we continue, I had one more question since we were on processing. Latency compensation. Like, how do you figure to do that? If someone wants like 0 delay, are you turning plugins off? Are you like running
While you're recording?
While tracking?
Are you running? Yeah, while you're tracking. Yeah.
Dude, my tracking template is so simple. I mean, I could tell you, it's literally a Pro Tools EQ, R compressor.
Well, for a singer, if they wanted like auto tune on it,
Well, autotune too, but like you don't have latency issues with that. Well, you shouldn't.
right. If you
But
yeah,
nah, it's just simple, and I throw a reverb on it VSN, and I just keep it simple because when you're going through, if you have a telefucking 251, need to 73 CL1B, you don't need
too much processing.
like after that.
Yeah.
You don't need too much, honestly. Like my template is so simple, so yeah, I keep it simple, and usually I don't run into no latency issues for that reason. Like, cause I think people try to add too much sauce. And it's like, bro, let the artist do the work. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then when they get out the book, because I mix as I go, like do a rough mix as I go. Like I have like reverbs and echoes and doublers, all that stuff. Like set up.
template, so you can just start sending shit.
Yeah, but like while they're cutting, I just keep it simple. EQ.
I think you got to do that to make sure they get a really good take, also.
Yeah,
'Cause
of
you don't have
course.
too much shit on it, like hiding the flaws, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, I had to learn that though, because when I first started off, I was like, yeah, it's gonna sound saucy off impact, and it's like you can just trust your ear and trust the gear and just
Saucy
kinda
off
go from
impacts.
there.
I've been finding myself with some artists in the studio.
That's not a bad idea.
I've been finding myself with some artists in the studio. They'll want to add a take after post processing, and I'm just like, I just added like Curves Equator, IDX, like fucking Pro Q, all these like latency heavy plugins, and I'm like, I'm finding myself to go and disable them when
bro.
I have to do the retake.
Shit's annoying.
I'm telling you, that's why I just keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple, right?
Because boy, it just when they're done, that's when you can go crazy. Like
Okay.
And that's when I turn on my mix bus and do all that stuff. But I'm like, if they want to add stuff, it's like, hold on, let me deactivate 8 plugins.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what I'm
Damn.
saying?
They always want to add something when I'm like almost done mixing too. I'm
Yeah.
just like, right.
But yeah, that's sauce. You put the sauce on the record, man. They hear it, and they're like, "Oh man, that's dope," and then they get inspired. So that's actually a good problem.
Okay, cool.
It could be like, "Oh man, you done? Yeah, bounce that send it to me. All right, man, you have a good day."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It can always be that. So if you're doing that, you doing something right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So I mean, like, you can have all the tricks in the world, and we could say do this and that with Soothe, right? But ultimately, I think it's about your ear.
Yeah.
So, you know, I listened to a couple of your mixes and shit, and like, sound great.
Thanks.
You know, the vocals are beautiful.
Just great. That's what you said.
Sound nice.
earlier.
You sound nice.
Just great.
But like, you know, how do you listen to records as you're mixing them, and like, you know, what are you listening for? What are you, when you're saying, is the vocal at the right volume compared to the beat? Like, is there a certain element you're comparing against each other?
So I listen. Usually when I usually mix very like low, not too low, and then I just try to do whatever feels good. You know, obviously I get the artist vision. Like, I get the artist and producer vision. I'm really big on like getting in contact with the producer. Like, hey, like, how do you want the record to sound? You know, even if they're not there, I'm just like, what's your take on this record? Like, what are we doing? You know, obviously the producer be like, man, make my drum smack. You know, I'm like, easy, done. What else? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is your vision? Okay, so once I get the artist and get a good relationship between the artist and the producer vision, I like to listen low and just, I always mix the kick and the 808 first, and then I go into my drums, melodies, vocals, then I just blend everything. Right, and then
So vocals last you bring in?
Yes, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But vocals is always last because, you know, once you have a template, everything's already getting processed, and then you just obviously adjust accordingly. But no, I just always listen to, like, does this, like, when I mix the record, does this feel good? You know, like, try not to get too technical, too analytical, and just be like, does it sound good? Does it feel good? Okay, next. You know what I'm saying? Even while I'm mixing, I may be mixing the drums. I'm like, oh man, the drums are banging, and then you start to add another plug-in. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, the drums are knocking. Does it feel good? Next.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The melodies, nothing's clashing. Okay, cool. The bass in there. Okay, bringing the vocals. Everything's blended. Okay, print.
But like, how do you know that it's right? You just trusting yourself at
When
that
the client
point?
approves it.
Yeah.
No, but like, I'm really big on like, you know, like energy and feeling, and like, I feel like when I'm in that zone and I'm like, wow, I really like this record. Stop. That's when I know. Because you can overmix something.
Yeah, that's a learning process too, man. Because I remember when I first started making beats, I'm just like, why do I have 8 different plugins on these drums right now?
Yeah.
It'd be
Why?
wild.
Yeah.
I'd be like, now I'll have like 2.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean?
Then take them all off and see. Okay, what is these plugins doing?
Yeah.
It's not doing anything. Like, yo, like,
Some bullshit.
you overproducing. You in your room like, it's the one. And it's like, it was the one 60 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
6 plugins ago. Like,
Yeah, facts.
But that takes trial and error. I didn't always know that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would overmix stuff all the time and over record stuff and do multiple stacks, and it's just like we overdoing. I was telling C4 today, I'm like, bro, you thinking too much. He was over there writing, which is his process, but I'm hearing him like say fire stuff as he's not recording. I'm like, bro, go record it.
You just want to punch it in.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, half your verse is done. Write 4 more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yo, just easy. Like, we did 2 songs like that.
Dope.
Just from like going off what feels good. Like, oh, that's dope. Like, you ain't gonna say that? So yeah, I'm like, yeah, you should probably record that. So shouts out to Gib.
Good.
Yeah.
So that point where you bring in the vocal, right? That's I think the most for me at least. That's the most challenging part of mixing is to get the vocal sounding good
Sit in
on
the
its
mix.
own or whatever, but also hanging in there right with the mix.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like it's such a tough sweet spot to hit.
Yeah.
So how do you approach that?
Yeah, so like usually, just like when I import my chain, it's already processed, but instantly as soon as I hear it go through the chain, I start making my decisions. So if anything's clashing between let's say if I have all the music mixed and I bring in the vocal, and I hear something clashing or competing, sometimes you have to go back to your like say like back under the hood, like you have to go back to your melodies and stuff like that to be like, okay, what's the real problem here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then it's a constant push and pull between the vocals and then the rest of the mix. You know what I'm saying? To make it blend. So, because sometimes you may bring the vocals in, and sometimes I purposely put the vocals on top of the beat and just hear everything, and then slowly bring it in, and then you may have to. I've done stuff where like when I'm finding that relationship between the vocals and the rest of the mix, I may be like, oh dang, the melodies, the guitars are clashing with the vocals now. So I may go to the guitars and then mid-side EQ and then to carve some out just to make space for the vocals. You know what I'm saying? So
How do you even notice that though? Because I think that's the problem a lot of people have is they don't even notice that to know to fix it, and it's probably instinctual for you at this point. But like if you think about it,
Reference
right, like
tracks or something.
what is actually going on in your head where you're like, oh, I heard that, or
yeah,
what I'm saying?
so basically, in a record, everything's supposed to have its own space. So when you hear a record, you should be able to hear the kick, snare, 808, hi-hat, overhead, so on and so forth. If I feel like the guitar and the vocals are fighting for the same space, like, and the frequencies are like trying to like talk at the same time, like I'm just like, okay, cool, something has to move. Like this should be. Nothing should be right here, like saying, hey, I want to be here. No, I want to be here. It should either be right here, or even right here, but it shouldn't be like fighting for that same space, because then that can cause phasing, and then like sometimes it happens when you hear a vocal, when you add the vocal in, and then you're like, where my guitars go? Well, because they're fighting for the same space. You know what I'm saying? So that's a huge issue that can happen, and that's kind of like how I know, because like, if I add the vocal in and something disappears.
But how do you know that thing just isn't just not loud enough? Or
That could be an issue too, and it could be panning. You know, over the years lately, I've been like, okay, this sounds good sonically, like everything is good, like frequency wise, and then I may just take the guitars and just widen them a little bit more, and I'm like, oh, boom, there it goes.
now they pop out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's trial and error. Because sometimes I'll go like, oh man, this is fighting for the same space. Let me EQ it, and then I'm like,
Take out the 3K and then add 3K of vocals
and
or
I'm
something.
like, oh well, now the guitars lost life. You know, so
You have to
usually-
sacrifice something sometimes.
Exactly. So to answer your question even more, like sometimes I tell my students this. I'm a teacher too, by the way.
Oh, cool.
I teach at a college. I forgot to say that, but I tell my students this all the time. Like, turn stuff up, turn stuff down, then pan, then add plugins, because the issue could be, okay, maybe the vocals too loud, and you turn the vocals down. You're like, oh, boom, there it is, or maybe everything's right here. Okay, well, just pan something, maybe 17, 25, 77, like something. Just get it out the way. You know, so sometimes you just can't get lost in technicality. And sometimes when I'm panning, I don't even look at the number. Sometimes I can look at the number and be like, man, let me do these 50-50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then I be mixing and be like, boom, oh, there are my guitars. Okay, cool. Next. You know what I'm saying? So I always usually start with gain staging, panning, and then it may be an EQ issue or something like that, you know?
And when you're adjusting the vocal level compared to the beat, is there a specific comparison you're making, like with the snare or anything like that?
Yeah, I like my vocal and snare to like kind of complement each other.
What do you mean by that?
Just like kind of be like, if the snare is probably hitting at the same volume as
The peaks of the vocal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because it's like, when most music today, it's so heavy drum driven.
Yeah.
And it's like, but everything, like I said, still has to have its own space. So I try to like match that, and then everything else kind of just glues together. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, because everyone wants the drums loud nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, like R&B records are knocking like hip hop records, if not
I need the
harder.
guitar is loud. I don't know about Joe.
How do you? So I feel like my biggest problem is usually when I bring the vocals loud enough, especially if like put them on top of the beat, they seem too harsh. And I don't know if that's like what I'm recording with, the people I'm recording, or like something in my processing. Yeah, how do you address that problem? I'm sure you've had the same issue.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes lately I've been doing I've been DSing the vocals last. So what I do, remember the chain I was saying about earlier?
Yeah.
So that's all on the aux. And then I'll go directly on the vocal track and add a de-esser.
So before it hits all that stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
And it's crazy because technically I'm adding it after.
But you're adding it like back underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I go to the all aux and I smash the multi-band just a little bit more.
On the S range.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just usually levels that out. And then sometimes I use a pull tech and just use the attenuation knob.
Yep. On the top.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, because the pull tech, Universal Audio, they oversample their plugins to emulate that analog sound. So, yeah.
Cool. So before we wrap up, man, I mean, you've made it pretty far with yourself. There's a lot of people watching this shit. I think that, are aspiring to do some similar things. So what would you say they should be doing specifically?
I'm gonna name a few things.
Yeah.
One, keep God first and just believe that, that it's not just you, man. Something is helping us all. To me, I think it's God, to each his own. After that, just going back to what I said earlier, find what you're good at. I'm blessed to do a lot of things and been, by the grace of God, been successful in a lot of things, but still I have to do the work, right? I have to figure out, I have to sit with myself and be like, bro, what are you good at? And I studied the market. At one point in time, I was like, yo, people are not cutting vocals like I can or like they should. So I was like, I'm about to be the best at recording vocals. You know what I'm saying? So find what you're good at, capitalize on that, and just do that. Be great at that. And just be a good person. That goes a long way. Can you sit down and have an interview for an hour?
Period.
Or 2? 30 minutes. Can people, I'm saying, can people talk to you? Do people want you? Do people, oh, no, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Do people want to be in a room with you? And that's how I had to, approach everything. I was like, okay, as an engineer, because I wasn't always great. You know what I'm saying? I had to get there. And I was like, man, I just need to be likable. Not try to get on people's good side, but just be likable. Just go in the room, be yourself, and just can you do a 16-hour session? As far as sonically, yeah, I can, but can you hold a conversation? Are you okay with not being in a conversation? So all those things I just studied over the years and just I found my lane and just was like, I'm gonna be good at that. When I feel like it was time to move on or go to another lane, I did that. And then knowing when to knowing your role, when to play a role when you get in the room. You can go in the room. I think all of us can go in the room. Even though you're an artist, you can go in the room. I'm pretty sure you can write for other people. But it's when to do that. You may need to go in the room and just be artist. And that's fine.
Play the back sometimes too. Sometimes you got to be in the room and just watch.
But it's knowing when to do that. In the room, I pay attention. I pay attention to everything. I pay attention to body language, how people move, everything. So I'm studying the whole time. And I'm like, okay, cool. So he's an introvert. She's an introvert. She likes to talk a lot. I'm just paying attention to everything. So I guess the fourth thing, pay attention, people. Please. Just read the room and just trust your gut.
Yep. That's fire. You're mad cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, the man, dude.
Yeah.
Looking forward to sitting down with you tomorrow in the studio.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Where you guys gonna be?
You'll be at the secret spot.
Oh, okay.
Secret spot.
Come through.
Secret spot.
I'm there. I pull up in my secret outfit. My secret bag.
Okay.
In your secret van. Your
My
secret red
secret
van.
crew.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bring the van, dude.
Let me
Bring the van.
I'll show you the picture.
Bro, you need to find that van, put some rims on that bitch in the system, dog. I'm telling you.
My dad
Yeah,
sold that van by the grace of God.
No, you need to get on Craigslist right now and find that shit. You need to go on misconnections on Craigslist, dog, and find that van.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's gonna be the thumbnail for the YouTube video.
That van has been.
Imagine if you took it and you made it a studio. Now the van,
That's a fucking good idea.
holy
You
studio.
call it 2.5 parking spots? That'd be sick.
2.5 parking spots, bro. That van
That's
sits.
good.
It's set so high. I'm a big dude, bro. So I had to jump in the van. And I was like, so if I seen you, no matter how tall you was, I was looking at you from 10 feet in the air.
We love the van.
Glad you love it.
All right, you can find Scotty at Scott with 2 T's _ Taylor Jr.
Yes, sir.
and ScottTaylorJr.com.
Yeah,
to book this, man.
for sure.
Scotty, thank you for hanging with us tonight, brother.
Man, thank you for having me. It's been beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, peace, love, and blessings.
No doubt. And thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week.
See ya.
Feels like we're fading, I don't know why. I take the last ride.
I'm just a girl's girl for real. Yeah. Cabernet star, I see you got you some patience. Selective with who you keep around, but most of them know how to cater. I'm shooting shots at the bar and serving them looks to a waiter. Most girls say they straight, but I know they love them a chaser. Most girls act innocent, I had a judge with equivalent. But don't you be calling me sis, I already got 6 siblings. And I know you know this ain't that, just tell me friends, you know how we act. They know that girls just wanna, hold up, damn. She say I'ma come here while I'm good with the cat. Will you put the yams on me? How many drinks would it take for you to get up and come dance with me? Yeah, tattoos on your body and I'm tryna read on the fine print. You could talk about your man with me, I just hope you don't mind it. Cause I'm just a girl's girl, and I like to, and I like to, and I like to. Cause I'm just a girl's girl, and I like to, and I like to, and I like to. She like to sizzle from time to time. She my little love galore. He might've linked with her once, till I kept her coming more. By the end of the night, I see how they both taste. Goddamn, can't catch my drip, so they try to throw shade. Bad bitch, worth that 9 to 5 in a Honda Civic with your Betty friends. Real niggas come a dime a dozen. If you in this party, get some Betty's then. Cause we turning up tonight, and we getting high. If I'm with a Betty, then you know the vibe. Cause I'm just a girl's girl, yeah. And I like to, and I like to. And I like to, cause I'm just a girl's girl, yeah. And I like to, and I like to, and I like to, goddamn. Yeah. And I might eat a little cat too.